Saturday, December 12th at UFC Apex in Las Vegas, and will stream live on pay-per-view exclusively on ESPN Plus in the US at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific in both English and Spanish. Today's event will begin shortly. As a reminder, this is being recorded. Please remember to click the participants icon at the bottom of your screen to reveal the raised hand icon in the bottom right corner. Click the hand icon if you wish to be added to our queue for questions, where we will then unmute and announce you when it is your turn. Click the hand icon again when you are finished, or to be removed from the queue. We will kick things off with our first athlete momentarily. Please stay tuned. The first athlete joining us today will be Deiveson Figueiredo, UFC flyweight champion. We now welcome UFC flyweight champion Deiveson Figueiredo. Deiveson, thank you for the time today, sir.
It's all yours.
There we go. We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Hello, Deiveson. Can you hear me?
Hey, brother. Perfeito.
Perfect. Thank you. Deiveson, very bluntly, can you describe what the last 3 weeks have been like for you, just having to go right back into camp and prepare for a brand new opponent after just recently defending the title?
Fala como é que foram as últimas 3 semanas entrando de volta no camp, logo depois de defender o seu...
As 3 semanas foram perfeitas. Eu estou fazendo um camp bem inteligente aí para que eu possa defender o meu cinturão. Voltar para casa com 2 cinturões, né? Para completar os 3, chegando em Belém do Pará. E estou feliz, cara. Minha equipe toda está feliz, o peso está bom. E a gente espera bater o peso ainda hoje.
I had a perfect 3 weeks here. It was amazing. My weight's good right now. I'm ready to make weight this week, and I can't wait to fight again and to bring a second belt to Brazil after this fight, and my collection of the other.
I'd like to ask about your weight cut because we know that you are a very big flyweight for the weight class. So when you have to make the weight again so soon, what are the things that you do differently so that your body does react well and you're not putting too much stress for the fight?
Você é grande para a categoria. Como é que você lidou com esse corte de peso agora, esse pouco tempo que você teve entre as duas, para manter o peso?
Bom, a situação foi toda manter o peso, né? Sair de uma luta e não exagerei na comida, eu mantive aí uma dieta rigorosa. E agora é só bater o peso forte e estar com o psicológico selvagem para sábado.
The whole point was just maintaining my weight. I try not to gain as much weight after the fight and just kind of keep it low. And apart from just keeping the weight, it's just keeping my mindset to go out there and just wild.
When you collect bonuses, do you prefer the check or do you prefer the cash in the bag?
Quando você coleciona seus bônus, você prefere receber o cheque ou a mala cheia?
Com certeza receber a mala cheia de dinheiro, a gente toma as atitudes na hora do que fazer com o dinheiro.
For sure, the bag full of money. Then we can figure out right away what we want to do.
Thank you, Deiveson. Good luck.
Thank you, brother.
We will take the next set of questions from Chester Lua with PP Sport.
Hello, Figueiredo. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm Chester from PP Sport China. My first question is, and just 1 month right after your last fight, and I wonder how you arrange your rest and training time within just 1 month.
Como é que você ajustou seu treino e o seu descanso?
Bom, a gente saiu de uma luta e dentro de 20 dias não tenho o que fazer pesado, né, para agredir o corpo. Então, manteve só treinos técnicos, 2 treinos ao dia e o foco na dieta, que foi o que eu fiz. Eu peso certinho agora. Para sábado tá forte aí para dar um show da noite.
Having just 20 days, we couldn't train too hard. We couldn't, tire my body out too much. So we were doing a lot of technical training twice a day, maintaining weight. So it was basically more maintaining.
Okay. And my next question is, have you addressed your fight strategy in such a short preparation time? Or you think it's just another easy fight, therefore, so you don't have to change anything?
Você analisou, mudou, fez uma estratégia para essa luta ou você acha que é só uma luta fácil de novo?
Bom, eu costumo ser bem estratégico para minhas lutas e, óbvio, com certeza, a gente mudamos o jogo aí para lutar com o Moreno e temos ótima estratégia. Agora é para ali no primeiro round.
I'm a very strategic fighter, so we definitely went back and built a strategy, a game plan. So what I have right now is go in there and
Okay. My last question is: many people think that you'll be dominant in the flyweight division for a very long time. So, do you think you'll surpass Demetrius Johnson in achievement at the flyweight division? Were you considering moving up to the next division later, like Henry Cejudo?
ele falou que muita gente acha que você vai dominar essa categoria por muito. Você acha que você vai quebrar os recordes do John? Ou você acha que você vai subir logo, pegar outro cinco?
Bom, cara, eu tô aqui para fazer história. Depender de mim, eu vou dominar por muito tempo a minha categoria, e eu não descarto a possibilidade de subir, fazer uma super luta e eu espero que isso chegue logo. Eu dominar os dois cinturões aí e fazer grandes histórias também.
I want to really dominate my division. I want to history, but obviously I'm totally open to having a super fight at 135, and I hope that this all happens soon. Dominate my division, challenge that belt.
Okay, thank you, and good luck to your Saturday.
We will take the next set of questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Deiveson, your manager Waleed said this week that you are, lighter and feeling better with the weight cut. Can I ask you what you're weighing right now?
Ali disse assim, você tá mais leve e se sentir com a corda de peso. Como tá teu peso hoje?
Hoje eu tô com 60, tô bem forte e eu quero bater o peso quanto antes aí, possível hoje, quarta-feira, para mostrar aí para o UFC que eu sou grande na categoria, mas também bato o peso com facilidade e chego bem forte no dia da luta.
I'm at 60 kilos today, and maybe I could even make weight today or tomorrow, and I just want to show that I'm able to make weight, I'm able to stay on weight, and just be able to keep a low weight throughout this week.
Right after your win over Alex Perez, they mentioned the Brandon Moreno fight, and it seemed like, you had an issue with him, maybe some of the things he said, leading into this fight. What is your opinion on Brandon Moreno? Do you dislike him personally? Do you have an issue with him in that way?
Depois da luta do Alex, parecia que você já tinha problema com o Brandon Moreno, né? Explica como é que é essa situação. Qual...
Bom, o Breno Moreno foi um cara que pediu luta contra mim, né? Até mesmo antes do Benavides. Então, isso me deixou incomodado. Agora chegou a hora de entrarmos no octógono para resolver. Se ele acha que ganha, se ele acha que vai tirar tudo de mim, isso a gente vai ver dentro do octógono. Porque ele pode ter certeza que o que está na minha cabeça é nocaute.
Brandon's a guy that asked to fight with me, for the Benavides fight. So that's something that irritated and bothered me a little bit. So, if he's asking to fight me, then go in the octagon and see, because all I can think of is
And obviously, as champion, Deiveson, you're going to fight whoever the UFC puts in front of you. But how much do you pay attention to other fighters, saying your name, guys like Henry Cejudo and Cody Garbrandt, who seem to talk about you an awful lot? How much do you pay attention to that?
como campeão, como lutador, você vai lutar quem está na sua frente. Mas como é que é ter tantos caras falando o seu nome? Cody Garbrandt falando o seu nome direto, como é que é isso?
Bom, esses caras só me engrandecem. Eu quero que eles falem muito mais de mim. Isso vai me deixar muito mais forte, com certeza, e aumentar meus seguidores em rede social.
Those guys are really only just making me bigger. I want to talk more about me. It's going to make me stronger and give me followers on social.
As a champion, is there any part of you that sees that Henry Cejudo fight as one you would like to go through just because, he was the champion and he never actually, he never fought to lose that belt. Is there a part of you that would like to fight him just to solidify your reign as champion?
O Cerrudo, como campeão, quer fazer, o cara. Acho que é uma coisa que concretiza o seu lugar na categoria.
Ah, o Cerrudo é um palhaço mascarado e eu quero que ele entre em minha frente, que eu vou tirar essa máscara dele com golpes bem pesados. Ele pode ter certeza disso.
Cerrudo's a masked clown, and I can't wait for him to step in front of me so I can knock that mask off his face, and I'll use heavy blows to do that.
And last question, what you're about to do, Deiveson, as champion has never been done before, defending your title a second time in such a short period of time. A lot of people have already said if you win on Saturday, you will be the fighter of the year, for 2020. Not looking ahead, but what does that mean to you to have already accomplished so much in such a short period of time as champion?
Você vai fazer essa semana, ninguém nunca fez, rápido para com essa vitória, todo mundo vai estar falando em você como lutador do ano. Como é que é você ter feito tanta coisa?
Bom, todas as vezes que penso nisso, eu fico muito feliz comigo mesmo. E eu realmente quero sair com essa vitória sábado, voltar para casa com 2 cinturões e comemorar com a minha família. Grandes vitórias que essa vitória pode me dar esse sábado. Me sinto muito feliz, muito orgulhoso de mim mesmo.
Whenever I think about that, I feel really happy and really proud of myself, and I Saturday to win again and to take 2 belts back to Brazil and relax with my. But thinking about it makes me feel very proud of myself.
Thank you, Deiveson.
We'll take our next set of questions from Augusto Niesgue with Somos MMA.
Hey, Deiveson, how are you? Can you hear me?
Hey, brother, good.
Deiveson, did you have to think too much before accepting this fight, or it was an easy decision to make?
Teve que pensar muito.
Eu pós-luta quando fecharam, né? Pós a minha luta quando fecharam, eu ia lutar com. Eu reuni a minha equipe, perguntei o que eles achavam. Eles sugeriram que eu ligasse para o parar, porque tudo envolvia dieta. Eu estava preparado para lutar, mas aí tinha que saber o corpo. E falamos com a minha nutricionista e ela falou que eu estava perfeito e que era para me aceitar a luta. Já eu aceitei.
When they offered me Brandon Moreno, the first thing I did was sit down and talk to they suggested I reach out to my nutritionist, and once I spoke to her, she said that my body was good. The thing that we needed to focus on was my diet and keeping my weight. As soon as she gave me that green light, I accepted the fight.
Awesome. And this might be one of the quickest back-to-back title defenses attempts in the UFC history, if it's not the quickest. So where do you focus your preparation for a title fight with such short notice?
Como é que você faz a sua preparação numa luta?
Bom, eu sou um cara bem estrategista, então eu mantive o foco na estratégia para a luta contra ele. E fiz um estudo do jogo dele. Isso me trouxe aí várias técnicas para que eu.
I'm a very strategic guy, so really what I'm thinking about strategy, the game plan against Brandon Moreno, and studied him a lot, and I built a strategy to be able to knock him out in the first round.
And which type of fight do you imagine on Saturday?
Ele, óbvio, vai tentar trocar comigo. Vou colocar para baixo e vou finalizar.
Obviously going to try to exchange strikes with me, and I'm going to take him down.
Okay, and my last question. You have a tough matchup this weekend, but if you get the win and you defend your title, when would you like to come back to the octagon and against whom?
Você tem uma luta difícil, mas vencendo nesse sábado, quando que você quer voltar?
Ah, eu quero voltar para casa, quero relaxar um pouquinho. E fevereiro, lá para março, eu vou estar aguardando as decisões do Dana. Sem ele colocar para mim, pode ter certeza que eu vou estar preparado.
I want to go home after this fight and relax for a little bit, but maybe February or March. I hope to gain and
Awesome. Thank you very much, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much, Deiveson. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for you, sir. You are good to go.
Thank you.
Next up, we will be joined by UFC middleweight Jacare Souza. We now welcome UFC middleweight Jacare Souza. Jacare, thank you for the time today, sir.
How's it going? Good.
We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Hey, Gabriel.
Hey, Jacare, it's good to see you again.
Okay, great. Awesome. I'm a little bit nervous.
You're doing great so far. Jacare, it's been a crazy few months. Can you just describe what it's been like for you with everything?
Yeah, it's crazy. The road's crazy right now. That virus is dangerous and change everything, you know. So, but I'm ready for a fight against whatever the UFC put in front of me. So just change the opponent, but I'm still ready.
I want to go back to May. We're after weigh-ins, and you're the first UFC fighter for an event to test positive. Obviously, it's happened to a lot of guys and girls since then, but you were the first, and we didn't know what was going to happen. What would they do? Can you just go back to that moment and talk about, like, what was it like to be the first one? And
I don't like
because after
I don't
you,
like to back with that moment, but I felt bad. You know, I was the first guy to got that crazy virus. So yeah, it was a bad moment for me. But right now I'm very confident. I did a very good, a very hard training camp, and I prefer talk about my new moment.
I understand. Can I ask, they switch opponents, you're going to fight Marvin Vittori, then you get Kevin Holland. I was curious, did they ever talk to you about fighting last week and you just fight Vittori 1 week early?
That ele falou do Vettori.
Because they just switch opponents for you.
No, no. They used to talking to me about what's his name? The Korean, the Korean, the Joker. Talk about the Joker, but the Joker he couldn't fight to me. He was scared. I know he's scared. Nobody can give me a rematch. So and he picked Italian Dream, you know, and UFC put me to fight against Holland. Yeah, Holland's a great fighter. He came with the good victories, and I'm ready to fight against this guy.
I want to ask, this isn't too much notice. What was it like to switch opponents? Because obviously Vittori and Kevin Holland are two very different guys stylistically.
I know they are different guys, but so Vitor is a lefty hand. Holland does a right hand. Vitor is shortly. Holland is a tall guy, but I did a very hard training camp for this fight. I brought big guys to help me, so I I train hard. You know, I'm ready. I'm ready for to fight against the Holland. Against Holland. Yeah, that's it. Let's go.
Hey, that's all from me. Thank you, Jacare. Good luck.
You're welcome, man. Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Keith Schillen with Sherdog.
Great. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jacare, you just mentioned that you haven't got a rematch. One of the guys that you end up losing to that many people believe you beat was Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero just got released from the UFC. One of the things Dana White mentioned was his age and that he's has some recent losses. You're in a very similar situation. Do you feel like this fight that you might be fighting for your job?
No, for me it's normal. So I'm different situation right now. So I have a fight coming up. So Romero turned down for many fights and many events. Turned down because he couldn't fight. So I'm in different situation, but I'm ready for whatever the UFC put in my front. So I'm into working. I did a very hard and good training camp, and I'm ready and I'll show for UFC for everyone who I am. I am the champ.
Yeah, you just mentioned people knowing who you are. One thing we talk about, you've accomplished so many things both in MMA and the world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My one question is, you've never reached the UFC title. When you retire, if you don't have that UFC title under your record, is that something that I think will haunt you?
So all my career is great. You know, I did a very hard fights in the UFC. So I have to win the fights. I don't know why I don't fight for that title, but I don't care. I have to put my focus in my future. In my future is Holland right now. So I'm I'm the history of the jiu-jitsu. I was strike force middleweight champ. I'm top ranking of the UFC fighters. So I'm happy.
And Jacare, my last question for you is: you're facing Kevin Holland. One thing that he's known for is trash talking in the cage. Are you doing anything to prepare yourself for him yakking at you while you're fighting?
Sorry. Can you repeat, please?
I said one thing Kevin Holland is known for is trash talking his opponents while they're fighting. Is he doing anything to prepare himself for the trash talk?
I have no problem with the trash talk when the octagon is closed. Yeah, he can talk trash, but if he put he down and if he still talk trash, I wanna break his arm. It's normal, and probably he's gonna say, ha ha ha.
Good luck to you, Jacare.
Okay.
We will take our next set of questions from Scott Shapiro with the South Florida Insider. Oh, excuse me, sorry. We will take the next set of questions from Diego Ribas with AG Fight.
Welcome, Diego.
Tudo bom, Jacare?
Tudo bom, cara?
Maravilha. Primeiro, como é que foi de aniversário aí tão próximo da luta? Como é que você passou seu
Eu
aniversário?
tenho essas loucuras comigo, né? Meu filho nasce no dia que eu vou lutar, meu aniversário uma semana antes da minha luta. Para mim é como se fosse um dia normal, tranquilo, não como doce mesmo, então tá bom.
E sobre seus treinamentos, eu vi que você treinou, se eu não me engano, bastante com o Lyoto, com o Adrian Jaúde, destaque no Get. Como é que foi esse treino? Foi tudo mesmo feito ali na sua casa? Como é que tá a estrutura que você montou?
Eu tenho um espaço de treinamento legal. Já vou falar que é o mais bonito da galera aí, do negócio da academia. Nossa, o meu é o mais bonito, pronto, acabou. Minha academia de jiu-jitsu também vai ser mais bonita, mudando um pouco de assunto. Mas eu também trouxe um cara bem grande para me ajudar, trouxe outros do wrestling para me derrubar. Então, cara, eu apanhei muito nesse camp. Eu fiz um camp muito duro e é isso, cara. Eu estou pronto para chegar lá e vencer agora.
E poder contar com o Lyoto agora ali como vizinho ali também, ele que não é mais vizinho do Verdun, te ajudou bastante nesse camp?
É sempre bom ter a experiência de um cara como ele outro, tranquilo. Então, foi excelente para mim.
Um ponto que não tem como não falar foi a mudança de adversário. Você enfrentaria o Vettori, que roubou a cena na semana passada. Como foi essa troca de rival? O que mudou na sua estratégia? Deu para adaptar já alguma coisa?
Na realidade, não deu para adaptar nada, foi muito em cima da hora. Tá ruim para todos, entendeu? Esse vírus louco tá aí no mundo e graças a Deus o UFC tá fazendo um excelente trabalho. Me deu esse adversário, que é um adversário que vem de 4 vitórias seguidas, se não me engano. Um adversário duro e eu vou lá e vou bater ele agora, vou vencer.
Exatamente, o Kevin Holland, um cara que venceu 4 lutas esse ano, 28 anos, né? Até aquela empolgação, tá chegando, tá mostrando serviço. Onde é que a sua experiência aos 41 anos entra aí que pode anular toda essa empolgação dele?
Cara, eu vou entrar no octógono e eu vou estar mais novo que ele, vocês vão ver aí.
Ele é um cara que provoca bastante, não só antes da luta, mas durante a luta. Ele fala, provoca, ele fala na orelha do lutador, quando a luta tá no chão. Você tá pronto para isso? Você já sabia disso? Acha que isso pode incomodar?
Minha vida toda eu já peguei muitos lutadores assim, entendeu? Se ele falar muito, eu vou quebrar o braço dele, entendeu? Normal. Provavelmente ele vai até gritar se ele começar a falar um monte de besteira, mas tudo bem, sem problema, não tenho nada contra falar. Se ele quiser falar, a boca é dele, pode falar. Eu vou estar lá dentro do octógono para lutar.
Maravilha. Última para mim, então, Jacare. Um ano sem lutar, né? Sua última luta foi contra o Blachowicz, que se tornou campeão dos meio pesados. O fato do sucesso que ele teve, sua luta com ele foi tão parelha, e ele já ser o campeão da divisão de cima, isso talvez te motive ou te relembre a ideia de talvez subir de categoria no futuro?
Não, eu lutei nessa categoria, foi um convite que fizeram a mim. Eu achei que era uma boa oportunidade, um adversário duro, bem ranqueado, mas eu sou médio e isso também me dá confiança. Confiança, o cara tá nocauteando todo mundo e eu venci. Felizmente, o juiz não me deu a vitória.
Maravilha, obrigadão, Jacare, era isso.
Valeu.
Thank you, guys. That's it.
Thank you so much, Jacare. That is all the time we had for you, sir.
Yeah? Awesome.
Next up, we will welcome UFC lightweight Renato Moicano. We now welcome UFC lightweight Renato Moicano.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Okay.
Hello, Renato. It's good to see you back.
Good to see you.
I know you can only hear me, huh?
Yeah.
Um,
True.
That's okay. Renato, so we know that the reason this fight got rescheduled was because you tested positive for COVID. How are you feeling, and just what was your experience?
I'm feeling very good right now. I had I didn't have symptoms, so I didn't feel much. I had to take a break of training in gym, but I was still training at my home, so I was doing a lot of cardio work and exercising, all that stuff. But I'm feeling pretty good.
When you go back to work with your coaches and it's the same opponent, how do you use the extra time? Do you feel like you picked up where you left off in training, or did you feel like your coaches maybe found something new that you didn't before the first fight?
No, I was preparing the same way I was doing before the COVID, because I have my game plan, my strategy, so I didn't change at all. I just had to postpone the fight 2 weeks, I think.
And then finally, what are your thoughts on Rafael as an opponent and how you match up with him?
I think he's a great opponent. He's a very good fighter, but I think this is gonna be a great fight, and that's is what all I have to say.
What do you most want to show for yourself in the fight?
Excuse me?
What do you most want to show? What do you most want fans to see from you when they tune in to watch you fight on Saturday?
Yeah, I want them to see the way I always have done, which is to put all my heart in the fight, to fight like uh, like the way I always fight, doing really good stuff, and I think people gonna enjoy that fight.
Okay, thank you, Renato.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Cote Cruz with For to Win MMA.
Okay,
Hey Renato, how you doing? Good to talk to you.
I'm fine. Good to talk to you, my friend.
Thank you. Well, this is a new division, but I'm pretty sure the same objective is to have gold around your waist. How do you feel in this new weight class? Are you planning to stick around here, or do you have any pending issues at featherweight?
Depends on UFC, because of course I'm feeling better, because I have to cut less weight and I'm feeling stronger. I think this is my right division. But if UFC offer me a really good fight at 45, a top five contender, I can go back. But right now I'm feeling like I'm feeling the best moment of my life. I'm feeling in shape, and I'm feeling I can do even better on the 55 than in 45.
This is your 10th appearance in the UFC octagon, and you've faced a lot of great names in the featherweight division. However, this would be the fourth time that your rival, I mean, this is the fourth fight of your rival in the promotion.
Yeah,
What factors do you think will play here? Is it experience that favors you in this case? How much have you learned and improved?
yeah, maybe he has a great experience in combat sports too. So I think the best man will win, and I think this man is gonna be me.
Well, you have great striking and you have an excellent ground game to go along with it. You have 7 submissions. What do you think your rival will be able to do on the floor with you? How do you see his striking compared to yours?
Hmm. I think he's a great striker, but we didn't see him on the ground as much as as me because I am more grappling guy. But I think he has like a decent grappling, and I think this fight is gonna be who wants more, and I'm sure I want more than him.
Well, final question for me. After the fight against Ortega, you decided to move into the United States where your children was born this year.
Yeah,
Congratulations, by the way. Could you
thank
tell
you so
us
much.
could you tell us how much has this event changed in your sports life and also in your personal life ever since you took this decision of coming to the States?
Yeah, it changed a lot because with this decision, I changed my mindset too. Because I am I am far from my parents, my friends, and I had a lot of time to think about my life and how I gonna raise my child and my son, and how I gonna build up my family and how I gonna take care of them. And I start to study a lot about a lot of stuff, and I'm really grateful to be here in USA. I love Brazil, but I think we have a lot to learn about how to be a citizen and how to build a nation, like USA. So I'm really grateful to be here.
Well, thank you, Renato. I appreciate your time. Best of luck in your fight. Muito obrigado, my friend.
Oh, muito obrigado, meu amigo. Valeu.
We will take the next set of questions from Omar Mert Savci with S Sport.
Hello, Renato. How are you?
How are you, my friend? Good.
Thank you. Thank you. Who would you like to face if you win this weekend?
I don't know. I have to fight Saturday, and I have to put a big win to call out somebody, because right now I have a fight, and I have to focus on that fight.
Okay. My last question is special because you are Brazilian. Who is your favorite Brazilian football players?
I didn't watch like soccer, my life always have been fighting, and my idols they are all fighters. So I don't care as I don't care to soccer really.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Renato. Thank you. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We will take the next questions from Diego Ribas with AG Fight.
Oi, Moicano, tudo bom?
Tudo bom, Diego? Beleza?
Maravilha, vou fazer umas rápidas em português aqui. Primeiro me diz como é que mudou sua vida, né? Mudar de categoria. O que mudou e o que está de melhor?
Com certeza, eu tô conseguindo treinar muito melhor, né? Porque antigamente eu ficava muito focado em perder o peso. Então, me parece que me deu mais vontade de treinar, entendeu? Deu mais vontade de treinar. Antigamente eu estava ficando um pouco estressado, eu já tinha associado treino com corte de peso, com semana de luta. Então, antes mesmo, eu já ficava sofrendo muito antecipado, entendeu? Então, nessa última luta que eu subi de categoria, eu tenho me sentido muito mais tranquilo para pensar no que realmente importa, que é na luta, que é focar minha cabeça na luta, e o corte de peso está vindo junto com isso. Antigamente, o corte de peso era a meu foco principal. Eu só pensava, eu tenho que bater o peso, tenho que bater o peso, porque eu saberia que seria muito difícil, entendeu? Hoje em dia, o corte de peso ele ainda continua, não é fácil, mas ele se tornou muito mais, eu consigo lidar muito melhor hoje, então eu tenho tempo para focar na luta.
Maravilha. Que tipo de brecha você vê no jogo do Fiziev que você pode adiantar?
Não, ele é um cara bem completo, né? Mas acho que as brechas dele são no chão, né? Mas é um cara completo também, trabalha chão. É uma luta dura, uma luta boa e uma luta que eu vou vencer.
Show. E vencendo ele, onde essa vitória pode te levar? Você já chega a pensar no ranking, entrar no ranking?
Eu acho que
Onde te coloca uma vitória sobre o Fiziev?
eu acho que me coloca no ranking, com certeza, né? O UFC, acho que o UFC tem planos relacionados a isso. Ele já me ofereceu alguns caras ranqueados antes mesmo desse oponente que eu tenho agora. Eles não aceitaram, mas acredito que uma vitória sobre o Fiziev vai me colocar no ranking. Eu não sei em qual posição, mas com certeza ali eu vou entrar no ranking.
Maravilha. Última para mim, Moicano. No UFC você não conseguiu ainda fazer uma sequência grande de lutas no mesmo ano, né? Ter aquela atividade grande.
Sim,
Imagino que até subir para peso leve isso ajude.
com certeza.
No entanto, o fato agora até a questão do Covid e tal, o UFC parece que precisa, né? Às vezes lutador de última hora, casar luta de última hora. Você está disposto a ser um desses, tipo Kevin Holland, vai fazer a quinta luta do ano? Você está disposto a fazer isso?
Com certeza. Acho que se for uma luta interessante, a gente pode pegar ela aí com muito menos tempo de trabalho, porque a gente sabe que é uma oportunidade, sempre uma oportunidade. Então, se aparecer uma luta aí, um cara ranqueado, um cara top, uma luta que faça sentido, com certeza eu vou estar entrando aí para tentar aumentar minha sequência de lutas aí no ano.
E aí lutando com peso leve ajuda a fazer mais lutas em menos tempo.
Ajuda, com certeza. Antigamente, no peso pena, eu não conseguiria pegar uma luta em cima da hora, assim. Uma luta com 2 semanas, impossível eu bater o peso, entendeu? Uma luta com 3 semanas já seria difícil, já seria só pensar no corte de peso, entendeu? Então, acho que é mais saudável, eu acho que você rende mais e é mais proveitoso, entendeu? A sua carreira. E acaba que a sua carreira vai durar mais.
Maravilha, era isso. Obrigadão e boa luta, meu cara.
Obrigadão, Diego. Abraço.
That's it, guys. Thank you very much.
We will take the last set of questions from Keith Schillen with
Hey, Renato, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm excellent. Thanks for you asking. One question I gotta ask you is: we learned that fighters improve a lot of times when they learn from losses. You had recent losses to Jose Aldo and the Korean Zombie. Tell me, what did you learn from those losses that made you a better fighter right now?
I think that two losses show me doesn't matter how good you are if you are not if you are not doing right, because back in the day I used to training too much. I used to have a really hard weight cut and other things, So after the fight, I had to focus on what I have to do different, because the loss for Jose Aldo, I thought the judge stopped the fight too soon, and I didn't accept the defeat. So uh, I I I jumped in the Korean Zamba fight with like 2 or 3 months after the Jose Aldo fight. So I just wanted to forget about this loss. But you have to embrace your loss. You have to learn about your loss. And after that, I made adjustments in my training camp and in my personal life. So right now, I am a better fighter than I thought I could be. I am a really good fighter, and I'm gonna show this on Saturday.
My final question for you: you mentioned earlier that you left your home in Brazil. You're now in the United States. One thing that stands out to me on this card is how many Brazilians are on this card. You have obviously yourself, Figueiredo, JDS, Jacare, Oliveira, Gendarova. Does having so many of your fellow Brazilians on the card, does that make you feel a little bit at home? And does it give you any extra motivation to perform with so many of your countrymen around you?
To be honest with you, really doesn't matter. To be honest with you, because I'm here. I know it sounds not good. I love the Brazilians. Of course, I love like Junior dos Santos is a friend of mine, and a lot of Brazilians. But what really matters is a win in Saturday. Nothing else. I'm not thinking about Brazil or USA, or I just thinking about winning on Saturday. This is all who matters. So I'm trying to not thinking about things I cannot control, and right now I'm just thinking on the fight and what I have to do in order to win the fight. So I'm not thinking on that.
Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
We will take one more set of questions from Jim Barcelone with the Miami Herald.
Okay.
Hey, thank you so much. Oh, just curious, where then did you train for this fight, and who trained you for this fight?
I train in American Top Team in Coconut Creek, Florida, and I train with a great coaches and athletes.
Who did you bring with you in your corner for this one?
I bring Gabriel de Oliveira, who is my coach um, a long time. We start to work in Brazil about 7 years ago, and I have Anderson França, a striking coach, kickboxing coach, and Conan Silveira, the head coach of American Top Team. I have a pretty good team to take care of me here.
And lastly, for me, what has that been like coming here to South Florida to train at American Top Team, and how have you grown as a fighter?
Yeah, man, to me, it's the best gym in the world. And like I said before, the best coaches and training partners. And I love Florida. Florida reminds me a lot of Brazil. So it was not a really hard adaptation. And I feel home in Florida.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Renato. That is all the questions we had for you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Next up, we will be joined by the number 14 ranked UFC heavyweight Ciryl Gane. We now welcome the number 14th ranked UFC heavyweight contender Ciryl Gane. Ciryl, thank you for the time, sir.
Hello.
Hi. We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cape Side Press.
Hello, Ciryl. How are you?
Good, and you?
Doing very good. This is obviously a former champion, veteran, big name, big fight for you. How are the emotions?
I'm really happy in first, and I'm really glad. So, opportunity. So, thank you, GS, and thank you, UFC. And yes, former champion, big career, and I'm gonna do my best for sure.
We know every fighter says, I train the hardest for every fight. I always train hard. I always treat every fight like it's the biggest one. But when it's somebody like Dos Santos, do you just train a little harder? Do you run a little longer? Do you hit the bag a little harder? Do you feel that in camp?
No, not really, because every time, sorry, my camp is really hard. So trusting by day, and no, but we still a lot of this guy for sure with my coach.
You've been in the UFC just a little bit over a year. Can you just describe what the whole ride has been like for you so far to be in the world's biggest promotion?
Je sais pas si on a compris la question, sorry. Can you repeat the question, please?
Just you've been in the UFC for a year now. Can you describe what it's been like for you?
This is a big thing for me. This is UFC changed my life for real. With that, I hope to go far, but my mission is like a father, take care of my family and take care of the future of my family. With the UFC, you can do that.
I know it may be a little while, but I do know this year they finally had MMA events in France with big promotions. I want to know, is that one of your goals when they open it back up? Do you want to be the first one there when they bring it to your country?
Yeah, for sure. That's really crazy. That's really crazy. The MMA started in France, and it's gonna be bigger and bigger. And for me, this is a big opportunity for the French fighter, for the media coverage, for everything around that. And of course, this is a big opportunity for me too. And this is a real pleasure to fight in front of my family, of course, my friend and my family.
My final question, how do you feel you match up with Dos Santos stylistically?
Je sais pas si on a compris. Yes, I hope it's gonna be well, but this is a good question every time. I don't have a good answer because I don't know what's happening. But for real, trust me, I'm gonna do my best. For sure, for sure.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much.
We will take the next set of questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Ciryl. This year has been kind of crazy for you. Originally scheduled to fight in April, and then the pandemic hits, and then the delays, the change of opponents. Can you kind of give me a sense of what this year has been like for you? Just waiting to finally fight.
Yeah, a crazy years, but every time keep them a healthy mindset. You understand, and stay focused and keep training. This is really hard. But every time I say that, I have a food in my plate, I have a roof in my home, and every time in the bad news, you have a good news, and you see that this is a big opportunity for me. And if I win this fight, it's gonna be a good year for me.
Obviously, I'm sure you had a lot of respect for the opponents you were originally going to face this year, but is there any part of you that is, happy that at the end of the day, you're fighting a former champion, a heavyweight legend in Junior Dos Santos? Like, is there any part of you that feels like it kind of played out well, that this is what you ended up with at the end of the year?
Yes, I'm really happy. I have a big respect. This is a legend. You have a big career, and me, I have a few years, so just to have a respect for this guy. And but I'm going to do my job. I'm confident, and I'm really great job.
What What do you expect out of Junior? Junior is a former champion, again, incredible heavyweight, but he's been on a tough run lately. He's had some tough losses lately. What do you expect out of Junior? Do you expect him to look like the Junior that was the champion? Do you wonder, what he has left, considering he has dealt with some tough losses lately?
Yes, every time the people say yes, lose is it's the last fight, but against the top five. So he's still here. He's still here, and he keep training, and he look good. He have a good shape. So I think he train hard, and he gonna do his best. And yes, you can expect a big fight. You have good striking, a good ground game, good takedown. So big matchup for me.
And my last question, everybody progresses in this sport at their own pace. No one does it exactly the same way. But if you beat Junior Dos Santos, do you feel like you're on your way to those top 5 contenders? Do you feel like Junior is kind of the gateway to your top 5 fights?
Yes, of course. This is a big test for me, and if I win this fight, I'm gonna prove. That's sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Bye.
We will take the next set of questions from Keith Schillen with Sherdog.
Ciryl, how are you?
Good, and you? Thank you.
So you just turned pro a little over 2 years ago, but when you talk to the people who really dig in, the hardcore fans, it seems like everybody has such high expectations of you. I've seen so many people predicting you to be a future champion. You head into this massive matchup as a big favorite. Do you feel any pressure having such lofty expectations thrown on you?
Not too much. Not too much. I'm just here to do my job, and anytime is the same for me, the same feel. And yes, it's a big lesion, but you understand? I studied MMA 3 years ago only. So I don't grow up with this culture with the heavy man. So maybe this helped me to have less pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Do you ever just sit back and just be surprised how fast of a track that is, that you went from, fighting on the regional scene, a little over a year ago to now, main card against a former champion? You ever sit back like, wow, this is so crazy how fast this is going?
What? Yes, of course. So I signed in August. I did 3 fights, but yes, unfortunately, this year I did nothing. But today I have a real match, a real date. So yes, I'm really happy. I'm really happy to this way.
And Ciryl, my last question to you. You mentioned earlier about headlining a card in France. One thing I love about MMA is how much of a global sport it is, especially recently. We've seen rises in areas of the world that weren't really known for MMA. I think about the African countries. I think about Australia, New Zealand. How long do you think that France will be one of the powerhouses, and particularly you leading the way?
What? Yeah. Of course. I think in France we have a big potential for the pay-per-view, for the big potential with the fighter, with the French fighter, and I think yes, already we have a lot of fighter, but it's complicated to go to the big organization when his country is not legalized. You understand?
Of course.
But yes, I think the French place gonna grow up for sure in MMA.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
We will take our next set of questions from Cote Cruz with 4 to Win MMA.
Hi, Ciryl, do you hear me?
Hello.
Ciryl, do you hear me?
Yes.
Ça va? Are you doing okay? That's all the French I got, buddy. I'm just trying to look cool, make you laugh a bit, make you feel at home.
That's great.
That's all I got, and some cheese maybe for you later. It's all good with you? Are you doing okay?
Yes, everything is nice. And we are
Fantastic, man. Fantastic.
today and great.
Well, let's talk about the fights. Oh, I lost my notes. Where are my notes? I don't find my notes, guys. Oh my God, my notes just disappeared, my man. Here they are. I'm so sorry. Your first fight of this year after 4 cancellations. Only in 2019 you fought 3 times with the UFC. How do you feel about this year in pandemic, and how would you say you have improved with the hard training along your coaches and a training partner the size of Francis Ngannou?
Yes, of course. We improved a lot this years because we did okay, all right, zero fight, but we trained a lot, and I don't train really with Francis. No, Francis live in Vegas, so not in Paris. But we have in the MMA factory, I think maybe one of best gym in Europe. You have Nasser Dinimavov, he's in UFC. You have Holland Bodo in UFC too, and other guy. And we have a really good staff, a good partner, and yes, I improve myself and confident.
You are one of the most interesting and notable prospects in the division with over 2 years in this career in the UFC. You are currently undefeated and you're very well rounded. No, without a doubt, this fight will be the most important fight of your career. How do you feel about this right now, coming into the fight?
The first feel is just I'm really happy. Just I'm really happy for this opportunity. And very glad. Big thank to you, guy, for this opportunity. And yes, now 1 year without the fight, so I'm just angry too.
Well, you have an excellent striking game and a really good ground game. You've you haven't conceded any submission attempts. What would you expect about the fight against Junior Dos Santos? Where do you think you have the edge?
Qual foi a questão? Okay. This is a good question because I'm gonna see when I'm gonna be in front of this guy, but I think I have a good footwork, and yes, I feel confident of striking and on my ground game. So I don't know exactly. We will see. We will see. For sure, I'm gonna make a big pressure and big volume. That's sure.
Well, we're getting to the end of the year. A lot of families are not able to stay together. A lot of them are. We're getting into a place of the year where we miss them and we want to give our best well wishes for the next year to all of our friends and family. What would you say to the UFC fans to end up this year? Your closing final message for the year.
Big thanks. Big thanks to trust on me because I did nothing this year, but the people are they are more, behind me, and so big thanks and just gonna do my job this Saturday.
Best of luck on your fight, man. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ciryl. That is all the questions we had for you, sir.
Thank you.
Next up, we will be joined by the number 15th ranked UFC middleweight contender, Kevin Holland. We now welcome the number 15th ranked UFC middleweight contender, Kevin Holland. Kevin, thank you for the time today, sir.
No problem. Thank you.
We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cage Side Press.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I got a lot of very obvious questions, so I'm just going to rip it off like a Band-Aid. How the heck are you able to fight just 2 weeks after testing positive?
I never tested positive.
Wait, so what happened?
It was probably a false positive, bro. I took a lot of tests right after, and they were all negatives, but shit happens, and I can't control the shit that happens. So here I am a week later.
Are you at all worried another one might pop up? Because we know 2020, it's just the year of the craziness.
Nah, I'm not worried about any more bad tests on my end. Somebody else's end, that's a different story. My end, nah, healthy as an ox.
So obviously it's a quick turnaround. Did you have to do any quarantining at all before you got your next negative test? Like how much time did you have to spend just by yourself?
Yeah, I spent most of that whole next week before I got on the plane to come out here by myself. As soon as I got the negative test, it was the day. I mean, as soon as I got the test that said I was positive, it was the day after Thanksgiving, and then I had my coach that same day go buy a bunch of gear for the garage. He dropped it off in my driveway. I put the garage together, did what I could in the garage for most of the week, and then I did like 2, maybe 3 sessions at the gym before I hopped on the plane. So I did Saturday, Sunday. I did Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, and we didn't work out Monday. I did a workout at home, and that was it. So yeah, it wasn't that bad. I got negative tests like 3 days after I got the positive, so I was good.
Got it. I asked because obviously you get a switching opponent to Jacare. I mean, this is another tough guy. Just how much time did you have to work with your coaches and strategize and all that good stuff for this fight?
I guess you could say in a way we got ready for Jacare in the garage, but I guess in a way you could say Jacare got ready for me in the garage. So even Stevenson.
Very fair. Watching that fight, Jack Hermanson Vittori, just a couple of days ago, just what was that like for you? Did you feel like that? That could have been me. Anything like that?
No way possible that could have been me. The way those guys fought was beautiful, man. It was very nice for that specific fight for those two. I wouldn't have got hit that many times in my face. I'm just not that kind of guy. But yeah, props. Good fight. Props to them. Marvin Vittori got out there and got the job done. Looks like the boss baby. Now I'll go out there and get his job done, and we'll call it even Stevens once again.
Hey, thank you, Kevin. Good luck.
No, thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Scott Shapiro with South Florida Insider.
Hi, Kevin. You hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on with you, boss?
Hey, so looking for your 5th win in 2020. I mean, few fighters that could say they've even fought that many times in a year. Are you even allowing yourself to kind of look ahead, considering 5 wins in a calendar year? Is this the most wins possibly for you in a year?
It's been a really good year, but I don't know. I think I had 5 wins once before I got to the big show. A couple of them were Muay Thai wins. So I don't know. I mean, I like busy years. I hate the idea of sitting at home warming up the bench. I'm not a bench warmer, so keep me as active as possible. And everybody keeps saying 5 fights in a year. I've had 5 fights in 7 months. This isn't a normal year. This is a pandemic year. I'm the only person that got hot during the fucking virus.
Have you, though, really allowed yourself to kind of look ahead, considering kind of what's going on in the division? I mean, it's only a few fights out. At 2021, you could be fighting for a title.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool, man, but I'm in no rush. Everybody always talks about that title, but I got gold on my pinky and I got gold on my neck. I'm good with the gold I got. I got a little bit more gold at the house. So as long as they keep me active and they keep me fighting, I'm a happy man. There's plenty of guys in the division that need to get smacked before I can become a champion. And everybody wants to be the champ, but half of these guys really aren't that good. They all think that they're the best fighter in the world, but truth be told, we all got holes somewhere. So let's just continue to fix our holes, and then we'll see what happens. But if that happens in 2021, I will snipe whoever the champ is, and yeah, I'll become the champ.
And talking like that, that's why obviously you're a fan favorite to so many people out there. You always seem to put on a show, but do you kind of have to kind of sit back and be a little bit more technical and knowing what Jacare offers? I mean, the guy's a legendary ground game.
Nah, I think I'm technical every fight, even when it doesn't look technical. Just because I'm very athletic, don't think it's not technical. Whatever Jacare brings to the table is perfectly fine. Jacare is a lot like my coach and the grappling aspect. And if we're talking about the striking aspect, I definitely think I have the advantage there. So overall, it should be a really fun fight. But having to slow things down or do things more technical, that might be my downfall. I think if I speed it up, I think actually if I press fast forward, I might just run through Jacare.
All right. Hey, well, that's it for me. Look forward to the fight. Thanks a lot, Kevin.
No, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
We will take the next set of questions from Jordan Ellis with Low Kick MMA.
Hi, Gavin.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, man. I just want to get your thoughts on, when you actually got that positive test. You're a very positive guy. Was there ever a moment where you were just, totally disappointed to have this huge opportunity and see it get taken away and then have to watch them on TV going to war for 5 rounds?
No, you sound just like Darren Till. This shit's amazing. My bad, though. My bad. Let me get back on track. Nah, never bothered me, not one bit. I never wished bad on another man. So seeing Marvin Vettori step up and take the fight against Jack Hermanson, I thought that was amazing. Watching them duke it out and slug it out like two warriors, I thought that was amazing. They fought each other exactly how I would never fight either one of them. So I just thought it was awesome to watch. The overall experience has been nice. It was different, you always look for something different. It was a new puzzle to solve. For a moment, we thought I had virus. Then we realized that I didn't have virus. So it was just a different obstacle. But it was definitely just another day in the office, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and you weren't down for long. You bounced straight back into another huge fight. If you get past Jacare, where do you see yourself in the division?
Man, I see myself still number 15. That's what they have me at now. So I think I finally earned that 15 spot, getting past Jacare. But God, talking to you makes me want to fight Till. So that's the route I'll probably try and head. No, I want to do whatever it takes to be a BMF. I want to be a bad motherfucker as well, So I don't know what that takes, but whatever that takes, let's figure it out.
Well, one thing I seen you said through the week is you want to be a BMF and fight Yoel Romero. Obviously, he's gone now. So who would you be thinking of calling out after this fight? You just mentioned Darren Till. He's at the top of your mind, but that's probably my fault. So who else is on your
mind? After this fight, you know what, man? It really doesn't matter. Honestly, if I was just taking a fight after this fight just to have fun, I can't call out Numbnuts anymore because he just lost Mike Perry. But I don't really like Derek Brunson that much. So if you guys give me the opportunity, I would like to smack Derek Brunson. And if he tries to wrestle too much, I'll check his oil and then smack him. Either way, he's getting smacked.
That'd be a fun fight. Well, thanks for answering my questions and good luck with the fight.
Thanks, boss. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Luis Green with MMA Crazy.
Hi, Kevin. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good, thank you. Obviously, change of opponent here in Jacare. Can you talk a little bit about the differences that you've discovered, preparing, getting yourself ready for someone like Jacare compared to, Hermanson?
You know what? I don't train any different for the person that I'm going to fight. I just do what I'm going to do. My coaches may have a few things in mind that they want to work on, but it's usually just wrestling defense because they don't want me to get taken down. But for the most part, no, it's a little bit easier getting ready for Jacare because it's 3 rounds instead of 5. And, man, those extra 2 rounds, it sounded long.
Are you disappointed that you weren't able to go 5 rounds, obviously having that main event spot taken away from you?
No, it was, like I said earlier, it was never mine to begin with. So, therefore, it was never mine to cry about when it got taken away. It was an opportunity that was presented to me, and then it was an opportunity that was taken away. Another opportunity presented itself, and I'm happy with the opportunities that I get. So no matter what it is, I'm not going to be down about spilled milk, because all you can do is clean that milk up and pour another glass.
Yeah, and obviously Jacare is a big name. He's had a long career with the sport. I mean, what was your reaction when they put forward his name to you?
I was very happy with the Jacare. When they offered me Jacare, I got really happy. First thing I thought, I was like, damn, I'm officially an alligator hunter. So I'm gonna be the alligator catcher come December 12th. And I think that's amazing. And then I think it was even more amazing that my coach, Travis Luter, he was super excited about the Jacare fight. a fighter that was around when he was around. So, being able to take out a guy like Jacare, put that mantle in my house, that's amazing. Very, very
And
amazing.
definitely. And what have you thought about his career, in general, and what have you thought about his past performances? Obviously, he's coming off of 2 recent losses, and what will you be expecting to see from him this weekend?
2 close losses. I'll be expecting to see a very hungry Jacare who wants to be back into good conversations. But I'll also be looking to see a Jacare who, if he can't get the job done soon, will be looking to retire. Yeah, 40-something years old, Can't keep coming out here fighting these young guys like me. So eventually you have to slow down,
Definitely.
Time to slow down.
Okay, well, we look forward to seeing it. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
We will take our next set of questions from Sumik Dada with Sports Kita.
Hey Kevin, hope you're doing well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so could you tell us a little bit about the procedure of how this fight came along? You obviously were scheduled to fight Jack Hermansson initially, but then of course you said there was this false COVID positive test now, and then you and Marvin Vittori kind of swapped places. So could you tell us a little bit of how this fight came together?
Yeah. When they said I had COVID, I was like, dang, that sucks. So by the next day, I was like, what's the verdict going to be? And I asked my manager, and he said they mentioned something about Jacare. So then I hit Mick Maynard up on Instagram. I'm like, yo, what's up with the alligator? He was like, yeah, you can take the Jacare fight if you think you'll feel good in a week. And I said, I think I will feel fantastic. It's about time I became an alligator catcher. So now here we are, getting ready to catch an alligator. Legendary alligator at that. It's going to be phenomenal.
So this is your 5th fight of what has been a very unusual year so far. So initially when the UFC restarted their events in this pandemic, was it like always your goal to keep yourself this active through the entire year?
Man, it's always a goal to keep myself this active no matter what the year brings. I like being active. It's fun being this active. Nobody wants to warm up the bench. I'm not a bench warmer. So to be in the game and to be out here getting it, once every other month or once a month, it has been nice. I really enjoyed it. We can do this again next year.
And getting to this weekend, you're obviously facing a very experienced Jacare. Would you consider him as your toughest opponent in the UFC so far?
No, not at all.
Who would that be then?
I don't know. That's still to come.
All right. Okay, last question for me. Going back to the Jack Hermansson fight, a win this weekend would put you in prime position to call for a higher ranked opponent. Would you be interested in booking that Hermansson fight at some point?
Yeah, if that's what they want me to do, I'm down for whatever they want me to do. I'm not the type of person that really asks for too much. Like I was saying earlier, if I gotta ask for anything, I'm asking for Derek Brunson. He's ahead of me as well. Other than that, I'm not too much asking for anything. I'm just asking that they continue to keep me on the roster and to continue to let me fight. That's the only thing I ask for.
All right, I look forward to your fight this weekend, and good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We will take the next set of questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Kevin, you mentioned earlier that you got in the top 15 rankings with the new rankings that came out. But you're a guy, and I know from talking to you, you're just about the next challenge. You're not, as you said, not chasing belts, not chasing anything, just, out there fighting and doing your thing. The rankings, does that matter to you? I mean, is it a cool accomplishment, or are you just kind of like, all right, I got a number next to my name?
It's cool for my grandpa. It's cool for other family members that look at stuff like that. And it's cool for my coaches. It's cool for people at the gym. For me, I could care less. As long as those checks keep getting fatter, I'm a happy man, bro. Very, very happy man.
You told me before this all kind of, the craziness all happened when right before Anderson Silva had his last fight scheduled, that you had always envisioned you would love to be Anderson's last fight because of your coach, Travis Luter, a guy who fought Anderson many, many years ago. Were you sad to see Anderson go out that way? And do you feel like, it is a good time for him to walk away? I know you said you'd love to be his last fight, but it seems like maybe we've seen him for the last time already.
Yeah, man. I agree with Dana 100%. Fighting is a young man's game. And if you're going to do it at an older level, you should probably do it for an organization that's not as rough as the organization that we're in right now. So if Anderson Silva wants to continue to fight, out of respect to his career and respect to what he's done, he should probably fight other guys more in the same age category. That way, you can, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard to say. The ego in me, of course, I want to fight Anderson Silva. Of course, I don't want him to be done. Bring him right back so I can get another fight. The fan in me just wants to see him not lose anymore. You know? So
Yeah.
rough situation.
Absolutely. With that being said, you mentioned you want to be the BMF. When the BMF title came about with Masvidal and Diaz, it was like the perfect storm. Those two guys, it was a great moment. Didn't ruin anything else, didn't ruin a title contender or anything by having those guys fight. So I'm curious, at middleweight or light heavyweight or welterweight, I know you kind of float around, who would be the perfect BMF fight for you?
The one that owns the belt right now. You know what I mean? The one that owns the belt right now. He owns the belt, so you got to take the belt from the person who owns the belt. Unless they're just trying to give out BMF belts to everybody in every weight division. But I doubt that. So, like I said once before in an interview, it doesn't make sense to have two belts at one weight class. So that one could be a catchweight at 175. George Masvidal is a street fighter with a street background. Pretty sure he's down to do anything. But I got to build my clout before I can get a guy like George. So got to keep chasing necks, checks, and clouts, and I'll be all right.
And last one for me, you mentioned 5 fights in 7 months. Everything goes well on Saturday night. You mentioned, as you said, the title is not necessarily what you're chasing right now, but you've had such an active schedule. We used to call it the Cowboy Cerrone schedule, then we call it the Angela Hill schedule. Maybe now we call it the Kevin Holland schedule. Is there a part of you that prefers that, staying busy, fighting every other month, and worrying about the ranked contenders? Not that you don't want to fight those guys, but you do see when certain people get ranked top 5, top 6, then they start, their schedule slows down. Suddenly, then they're only fighting twice a year, maybe 3 times a year at most. They're not fighting. Like, would you prefer just to keep this kind of schedule permanently?
Yeah, I like fighting a lot. I like fighting as often as possible. I like to fight as much as I can until I'm done. But like I always say, it's whatever they want me to do. I'm gonna try and be a company man more than anything else. So if they want me to slow down, let's try and wait till I'm 30. But it is what it is, and I'll take it how it comes.
Thank you, Kevin.
No, thank you.
We will take the last set of questions from Cote Cruz with the 4 to Win MMA.
Hi, Kevin. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah, absolutely. Good to talk to you, man.
Good to talk to you as well.
Thank you, man. Well, if we put aside your all COVID ordeal, where you told us a few moments ago that it just a fall positive, you've been a pretty active fighter in 2020. What's the secret for having such an amazing year in a time where things have proven to be quite an uphill run?
What's the secret? You want the truth, or you want a good interview answer?
Maybe both. Why not? Let's go for both.
All right, I'll give you a good interview answer. A good interview answer would be, man, the secret to this recipe has been just staying active, man. Staying ready so I don't have to get ready. The real truth of the whole matter is, I don't give a fuck, bro. I smoke a lot of weed, and if they tell me they want me to fight, the only thing that sucks is I have to stop smoking for a week. Other than that, nothing's really that bad. I love fighting. There's nothing better. So, yeah, this is what we do. And if all those other fighters that sit out there and they're always like, they love to fight, and then they get offered a fight and they don't fight, they're not real fighters. They're posers. So like, I used to skateboard back in the day, and those guys used to try and dress like skaters, but they weren't really skaters. They're freaking posers, man. Half these guys in the fight game, they don't really want to fight. They just want to look like they're fighters so they can look cool and then go out to the family barbecues and friends picnics and stuff like that. Me, on the other hand, I really, really enjoy getting close to killing somebody. You know what I mean? It's like all my cars have big trunks. You seen the green machine? You know how many bodies I can stuff in the green machine? Give me all the bodies I killed this year and we can find out.
Man, that's one hell of an answer, man. I don't know why did you sell yourself short that way. Well, how do you feel about the portrayal of your rise to prominence at the UFC? You had one hell of a debut against a killer like Thiago Marreta, and on the last chapter of the promotions for the fight, we are reminded that Dana White used it to call you Big Mouth, but then he surrendered to what you showed him inside the octagon. What would you describe how would you describe this tenure with the UFC?
How would I describe
your tenure with the UFC? Yes.
Help me out here, Gavin. My time with the UFC? Oh, it's fascinating, bro. It's been wonderful. It's the best job in the world. I wouldn't ask for anything else. I don't have a problem with anything Dana White's ever said about me. I don't have a problem with it. Anything that's happened in my UFC career this far. I'm honestly, all those guys who complained about not liking their job or complaining about the UFC or complaining about I don't know. Those guys are stupid as fuck. Maybe they should just fight more. You know, it's like I fight a lot. I get paid a lot. I'm happy with everything I have. I have a nice house. My girl looks good. My cars look good. My kid looks good. My dogs are nice. Everything's nice. You know, UFC, they've done it all for me. So I cannot complain at all, like whatsoever. I complained about the video game, but that was dumb because my little brother told me the video game's not that good. So overall,
Still not pursuing that
been
chance to
perfect.
be a part of the game?
No, man, just you know, make a UFC 5 for PS5 and then put Kevin Holland in it. There you go. That's the new campaign.
Sounds reasonable. Last question from me. With such a creative fighting style, I'm curious to know which fighters you draw inspiration from.
I used to draw inspiration from a lot of these guys. I used to think all of them were fascinating and amazing before I got in the UFC. I used to think all those guys at the top that you watch on those countdowns were pretty cool. Now that I'm here and I'm seeing these guys a lot firsthand, half of them are pussies. So I draw no influence from none of them. Sorry if that was mean, but
It's your answer, man. So whatever it goes, goes. Thank you so much for your time, Kevin. Best of luck on this fight in this weekend.
No, thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Kevin. That is all the time we had for you, sir.
Sweet. Thank you.
Next up, we will be joined by the number 3 ranked UFC lightweight contender, Tony Ferguson. We now welcome the number 3 ranked UFC lightweight contender in the world, Tony Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson, thank you for the time today, sir.
Hey, thank you very much for having me, man. It's awesome. It's Wednesday.
We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cage Side Press.
Hey, Tony, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you. Tony, I once asked you what moments from your career made you stronger, and you told me it was your loss to Michael Johnson. Is it the same feeling getting back to action after the loss to Justin?
Say that question one more time.
I once asked you what moment from your career made you stronger. You said it was your loss to Michael Johnson. Is it the same feeling now coming back after the fight with Justin?
No, getting visits from the randomest people saying you better do your shit. Like from companies and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? When you overspoke your boundaries and shit like that, and then people would come up to you and then make it known that they're there. When that happened, I won't drop names. I took advantage of everything, and I basically said that for the last 8 years, I just paid attention and just kept my mouth shut and just let everybody just go on their way. Just kind of judge me and just paint me in the picture the way that they did. From Top Golf all the way through on different things, from threats to my family, self, never stopped me. An integral kind of way that I approach everything, I don't give two fucks. Got to the point where my effort and my consistency with my company I've shown from the way I bleed to the way I go out and represent myself and how I come. I've made so much noise that even the president's paying. I've gotten targeted from people, paradigm all the way through to everything, and I've gotten word from people that have supported others in saying, like, yes, you were targeted. Nobody spoke up. You know what that does to a guy? Got a whole bunch of bullshit that my life has made me who I am today. Where I am in my life right now, gotten to the point where I feel completely naked. I've opened my doors, I've opened my windows, and I've allowed myself to be open to the world. That way people can see. Everybody's going to paint me in that picture of how they always wanted to do it. But for those 8 years, I was a facade. I was to see who was really connected. For the people that have my back to see. Overview. This is where we're at today. I have UFC 256. I'm the co-main event. Nobody spoke up for me to get a title fight. A 12-fight win streak. Years in the making. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Step on somebody's toes? Did I speak up for myself? I was so bad, right? This is funny to me. This is funny to my family. I come from a background too where humility is instilled into me. Grew up around my pops, around people with autism, Down syndrome, and guys that thought they were fucking 12 years old that were really. Grew up around that. I've always situated myself around people that were always or hurting. I don't know why I do it, but it happens naturally. The hoopla and the media and everything and all. Never have I said it once. The media wants to run with stupid shit and they want to say, but you know what? I'm represent my country. Doesn't even have a name. I call it the Sandlot. Fucking Motley Crue, but make it work. Done as I've earned my way to victory now. John Shelby saying, the person that comes through your academy and that works and trains with you can give him a shot in the UFC. Thick and thin through everything I've ever been with my company. Something to show about. Especially during COVID times when people stayed. It happened with man. Love and the love that I have for the sport and the passion that buddy. Expect you to or not. So there's still juice left. Coming this weekend, UFC 256. You guys are gonna see not a new me. Metaphors and similes. Go out there and just represent. Gotten rid of all the toxicity, of energy that stow it on me. Integrity and God, my witness. We'll go out there and I'll.
Tony, I would understand, certainly the business side of things. We've had heard of guys just struggling with it and their own issues with it. I would like to say, though, when you were added to this card on short notice, a lot of people got excited about it. They got excited to see you, and you bring in the people because they're ready to see El Kukui. So my question is, this is still a big fight. You know that business side of things, the big names in the future, all of that is going to be part of the equation. How much is this about finally fighting those guys, but then how much of it is just doing business your own way?
It's not about doing business, man. It's a family. Family sticks together. Sure, you'll argue with family and you do your thing, man. And sometimes you might not like them, but you love them. Grew up in this company. I tried out 3 times for this. I made it at 185 pounds, and they told me it was too skinny. I just hear from my buddy. Made it all the way to the 3rd round. Second one, I had a shitty turnaround. I went to DC. I used my fight winnings, right, to try for the 155-pound division. Used all my money, and the plane left without me. We got there too late, so I drove from DC to Charleston with no battery in my phone when people pointed me in the fucking direction. I rented a car I barely had any money for. I get there around like 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning. Tryouts are at 7:30. The shittiest turnaround. The guy said, he's like, you know what? Hey, you get tapped, just keep on rolling, blah, blah, blah. Put it in my head, planted the fucking seed. Went out there and I looked like shit. Went to the bar and I fucking started drinking. Shittiest fucking moment, man. I said, all my fault. I felt like it. I was like, why am I doing this? Go for the 3rd tryout, right? I was like, you know what? I don't know. And I would break my hand. No insurance. Nobody understands how fucking tough it is to make it in this industry. That 3rd time that I tried out, I said to myself, and Chuck Liddell was one of my guys, Troy Brown, one of my guys that really heart managed me, Mark Parra over at House of Champions. They basically told me, and they said, you know what, Tony? They reassured me that I could do it. I went out there and I took it like it was a job, like how I am right now, being by you guys. Did a 1-page, put all my accolades on it, and I didn't make it so it was always. And I did copies of my All-State papers, my All-American papers, and my papers, and my certificates of merit. Over like just whatever it was, I could put it in there and be like, here. And then Troy ended up making me a DVD. Put some song on it, and it was Eminem. It was I'm Not Afraid. Be not afraid. Went out there and I did that, and I told him, you have to take me. This is everything that I have worked for. You have to take me. I put it on the fucking table after I went through the trials. The 1st round I went flying colors. The 2nd round I did it too. As soon as I started hitting the pads, everybody went the same way that happens when I earned this shit. I went out there and I tried it, and the producer was cool. Fucking, I just remember from that point on that my life changed. I got to that third session when they said, this is the last part through your interview process. If you make it through this, I'm walking around. I'm pacing in a room like this that we're in, and I'm walking back and forth. And I can't believe that I'm in here. That I made it this far. I have this pamphlet with me, thing that I put my deck together, that I put together. UFC didn't have to do it because a company wants a full, complete package. They don't want something that's half-assed. That point in that time, I fucking put my stuff down, that DVD, and I said, you have to take me. Fucking went through the paper with them, and I put accolade after point, reference after reference. My references go far beyond what you. Dan even Gable is one of the guys that is one of my mentors I work with. I'm getting grandfathered in within the wrestling community. Matt Wrestling Match and Adam Dummy, all these different things. It's an incredible thing because I've never all the stuff that I went through. But I gave a complete. Everybody always wants things done for them. They're not willing to put in that extra work. When I saw the opportunity arise from the pandemic to make weight when nobody was making weight at ESPN and nothing was going on in sports, I took it upon myself to make that weight because there was nothing going on. I thought, you know what, for one instance, people could fucking actually pay attention and look at something, not jock my style. For the one time in my life, nobody could have ever fucking copied me. Thankful I did it. Got from 181 pounds to championship weight. I purposely ate on that Sunday night. Ate chips and chips and chips and got myself to 181. I cut all the way to 150 4 days without it. Barely making it. Almost seeing God and almost fucking dying. You guys have no idea. Nobody would have ever known. Nobody would have ever known, except for the people that were around me.
Well, I understand, Tony, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Mojang Wu with Hupu Sport. Mojang, please go ahead. Okay, we will move on. We will take our next set of questions from Danny Segura.
Hey Tony, we heard that previously the UFC was trying to book you with Michael Chandler, and Chandler seemed to be interested in the fight. You didn't want to fight him. You accepted the fight with Oliveira, though.
Whoa,
Can you?
whoa, motherfucker! Check this out.
Mhm.
UFC said that Chandler had a fight, and then Chandler said that he didn't have a fight. Somewhere along the line, somebody was fucking lying. I'm sitting here telling you, get your fucking facts straight.
That's why I'm asking.
No, that's why you're not asking. You're asking the wrong question. You're asking other people. Oliveira is the only game opponent that wanted to fight. Doesn't want to fight. Poirier doesn't want to fight. McNuggets ran and Tiramisu's gone. Got these assholes that were gonna fucking like put this guy's over top of me and want to move me back down to number 5. It happened before. I hate to say it, but matchmaking is like a logarithm. Found it, called it. Been with the company for 10 years.
Yeah. And prior to the Gaethje defeat, obviously you were in a historic run, one of the best runs we've seen at lightweight. Do you think a win here over Oliveira puts you immediately back in title contention, and maybe you're up next?
And that title's a wet dream. Like that farmer's insurance commercial. Oh, you almost got it. Keep it going. We're just gonna keep dangling in front of you. We're gonna keep trailing along. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it's because I'm Mexican. I'm American with Mexican parts. 12-fight win streak. 8 years in the making before women's sports were even in. Honor was on welfare. Henry Cejudo in the fucking like all these different things, and I still didn't earn a title shot. But I'm still sitting here saying fuck the free world. Just like Eminem, right? Most naked I've ever been my whole entire life. I'm still here, man, and I'm still waiting. I got the belt in my room. Go after another belt, but how much greed is that? I got an Ultimate Fighter trophy. I got a Fighter's Award only trophy. I got a UFC belt. I've got medals, and I'm Lord of the Rings with all my championship rings. How much greed can you want? Like, you want to be like Khabib and hold on to it? You're just being an asshole. To me. These other fighters that deserve it. Got Chandler that's coming in and butting the way, but look at, now he's cutting. Check this out. It's almost like you're gonna go get tested for COVID, right? Like, you want, go ahead, go get tested first, Chandler. Let all these other people, you know, like watch you and like take notes and everything.
Yeah.
Poirier, you got guys like Poirier, right? I'm trying to help him get a fight with myself, so that way the fans, my supporters, go and buy the fight, not illegally stream it, because anytime I fight, they buy it. What else they're doing on the other people's? But they know I work my ass off, and they're like, Tony, hopefully you're getting pay-per-view points, up points.
Yeah. No doubt you're one of the greatest lightweights to compete in the UFC ever. Obviously, you have the accolades, interim champion, tough, the win streak, obviously. Do you feel like maybe you won't see another UFC title fight come your way? Is that how you feel?
I don't give a fuck. Dana's one of my biggest mentors, and I love Dana. But bro, I'm the one that kind of tells him and tells Shelby and fucking, hey, you guys are doing amazing. Shit up. These guys get a pat on the back for the stuff that they do. Instead of being criticized or people narking and being like, yo, we're going to have fights over at the Tachi Palace fights, and then trying to figure out other shit. That's some bullshit. Guys are working their ass off trying to help us, fighters, trying to help us pay our bills and help because they understand. You have all these other people out in the world that have an opinion that don't fucking matter, bro. You're asking dumbass questions. Ask the right questions, you're going to get the right answers.
All right, Tony. Well, I appreciate the time. Looking forward to your fight on Saturday night. I'm sure it's going to be a banger. So thank you so much, and best of luck on Saturday night.
We will take the next set of questions from Carlos Contreras with Milenio Diario.
Hi, Tony. I saw you were talking to Brandon on the embedded and trained like for a couple of minutes together. In these times where the UFC has champions from all over the world, how does it feel to be part of this pay-per-view where two Mexicans, one Mexican American, one Mexican, are headlining a pay-per-view?
Es muy importante para yo, para mi gente y para mi raza también, para mi gente en los Estados Unidos también. Very important for myself and for my Mexican heritage and for American heritage. I can go on and talk about culture and everything, but I'm gonna be real. I go out there and I fight for myself now. I used to spread myself so thin, trying to make everybody happy. Get me anywhere. For 8 years, I told you I paid attention and just let people just paint me. 7 years actually. 7. Let people just paint me the way that they thought, and make a meme out of myself and make fun of me or call me cringe. All of a sudden became genius. Now everybody's wearing sunglasses. Nobody was wearing suits in this sport before I started coming in here, even before GSP. Now, Stitch Duran even told me, he was like, "You're the best sharp neck fighter I've ever fought. I'm gonna call you the GQ killer." That was House. Sunglasses, suits, the term casuals and hardcore. I can go on and on for days, but the point of the matter is I'm not here for me and my close circle, which is my family, my faith, my family, my friends. The UFC, right? I'm the CSO of the UFC. CSO means Chief Security Officer. It happens. If you need something done, count on me. Reliable. Go out there and I make it happen. Name another motherfucker that's out there that's in the top 5 that does that shit. Top 15 or top 30. You got to go lower in the bracket to have fighters that are like that are barely making it, to have that attitude. For all these top 15, top 10, top 5 guys, they float around too much. Where I was floating. My mom always tells me, she's like, "You know what? We're going to tie you back down because you're not cool. Enjoy the process." And is hungry. Body has changed. Standing myself, I've recovered faster than fucking help people in their.
I know what you said about your close circle is the ones are that living the struggle with you of these training camps and cutting weight and everything. But at the end, I think everyone's gonna look at Tony Ferguson like really close to this Mexican American champion like Henry Cejudo, like Tito Ortiz, like Cain Velasquez. Where would you rank yourself at this point among these Mexican American champions that the UFC already had?
Not on their level. Not on anybody's level. Or try to compare myself to anybody that's like me, or that's the same color. Say I'm better than them, because I come from a certain area where somebody's on the ground, you pick them up and you dust them off and you send them on their way. Tell them it's gonna be okay for another day. Hope, because without that, what the fuck do we have? Bro, I am Mexican. I'm American. More along the line, it got stupid because family wasn't from Mexico. I wasn't accepted, then I wasn't accepted as American. What the fuck is that? You gonna tell me I'm in limbo here? Nah, bitches. Everybody else is in. And unplugged from the matrix. Everybody else is in limbo.
Tony, thank you very much, and hope we see a great fight again from you on Saturday.
Thank you so much, Tony. That is all the time we had for you, sir. We appreciate it.
Excellent.
Next up, we will be joined by UFC lightweight Rafael Fiziev. We now welcome UFC lightweight Rafael Fiziev. Rafael, thank you for the time, sir. We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cape Side Press.
Hello, Rafael. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear.
Perfect. Obviously, the fight with Renato was rescheduled from a little while ago. Can you just talk about having to reset and now take the fight a little bit later than you expected?
Yeah, before 9 or 8 days, we know my opponent have corona, and just we change schedules because my hard training, hard work finished for this time, and also I start just 2 day cheat meal, eat everything what I can, burgers, pizzas, everything, and come back to hard work again. Couple weeks here, hard work.
When we've seen this happen, sometimes the fights they're able to get rebooked quickly. Other times it seems like the positive tests keep coming up, like it's still in the system. Were you ever worried that something might happen again and the fight gets rescheduled again?
Yes, of course I worry about this. I worry about my opponent and I worry about me too, because in this place everywhere now corona, it's not like Thailand. In Thailand no have this. But yes, of course worry about this. But it is what it is. If happens again, what we can do? Nothing.
A lot of people are excited. You have a great 2 fights at the top of the card, and you're going to be on the pay-per-view portion. Does that add more excitement to you? Does it help out in camp knowing this is going to be a big fight with a lot of people watching?
Sorry, can you say again, please, this? Because my English is not so good, Sometimes when long question, I don't understand.
No problem. Just, you're going to be on the pay-per-view for this card. Does that make it more exciting when you're preparing for this fight?
Yeah, when I see this, of course, this some pressure for me, but this nice pressure, it's like it's make me more energy, make me more motivation for this fight. But now it's changed a little bit, but no problem too. For me, it's just I want to fight. I come to fight, Pay-per-view, not pay-per-view, for me is not.
My final question, how do you feel you match up with Renato stylistically?
What?
Like, how do you see him as an opponent? How do you think the fight will play out with him?
Okay. Yeah, I think we have. He like fight in the feet, and but he's good grappler, but for me this is basic feet, and I think he try sometime, for sure he try to take me down, but and I think feet for me it's nice if we fight in the feet,
Perfect. Thank you, Rafael. I'm sorry for the question.
We will take the next set of... Oh, Rafael.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. We will take the next set of questions from James Mystery with Full Reptile. James, please go ahead. Okay, we will move on. We will take the next set of questions from Cote Cruz with For to Win MMA.
Hello, Rafael. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, hear you.
Hey, how you doing, sir? Good to talk to you.
Good. Yeah, let's talk.
Fantastic. You're currently one of the only male fighters from Kyrgyzstan in the UFC. How does it feel to represent your country in the most important promotion in the world?
Feels is great. Feels is great, and like I'm first man from my country, and just a lone man from my country, and it's funny. It's funny. It's good, like just we fight, ready to fight now.
Well, you started training at a very young age with your cousins, and then you started with Muay Thai. How much of an influence these disciplines have been on your life, and what do they mean to you personally?
You mean how many years when I start or train or what?
Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yeah, repeat please. This is live or no?
Yeah, in your life, how is training there?
Yeah, I start training 10 years old. I start train because we from the village we come to city and I go to school and some guy punched me, you know. Some guy punched me and I can't punch him back, you know, because I'm scared. And I go train next day, go start Muay Thai, and yeah, this why I start.
I see. In your last fight, you had a spectacular performance. You took the replacement fight, you won a performance bonus, and you left the Matrix Dodge move to the reels. In this fight, how do you see your opponent? Do you think he can match your striking?
Yes, my opponent he likes striking too. His fights, his last fight, he choked some guy, but before he do a lot of like he likes striking too. You know, a good striking too. He long guy. Uh, I think we have chance with him like show good striking. You know, good something moves something like that. You know, something crazy something. We try. I'm try for sure. He don't know.
Well, best of luck in your fight this Saturday. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Keith Schillen with Sherdog.
Hey, Rafael, how are you?
Hey, good, thank you.
So my first question I want to ask you is, in the time of COVID, we get a lot of cancellations.
Repeat, please.
In the time of COVID, a lot of fights get canceled. Usually, sometimes even days before. Would you be willing to step up to fight in the co-main event if something happens to Ferguson or Oliveira?
No. Oh, I think yeah. I think of course yeah. But I have opponent. I need respect him. You know, he trained too. You know, if he have problem, and he cancel for fight, of course I say yes. Doesn't matter. Just I want to fight. But if I have opponent, and how I left him, you know, because I need respect too. You know, he have family. He have everything. He need work. He need fight too.
Yeah, that's very respectful of you. One last question I want to ask you. I know you're one of the coaches at Tiger Muay Thai. My question is, how do you balance your time between coaching and training yourself?
It's good. It's good when I'm busy. You know, when I'm busy, I just come to train every day. After fight, you know, like next day you come to train, you come to teach, and every day you do more technique, you watch more technique, you like it's more creative, you know, because you don't stay in one place. You need do something for do interesting training, not same train every day, you know, for the peoples. And it's good for me just not stay busy. Just stay busy, sorry. And but just before fight, maybe 2 months or 2 months or 1.5 months ago now, I stopped the teaching and just focus with my fight and just
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Rafael. That is all the time we had for you, sir. Next up, we will be joined by the #1 ranked UFC flyweight contender, Brandon Moreno. We now welcome the #1 ranked UFC flyweight contender in the world, Brandon Moreno. Brandon, thank you for the time, sir.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for your time.
We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Capeside Press.
Hello, Brandon. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you to talk with you again, brother.
Can you describe what the last 3 weeks have been like? You get done with the fight, and then you just gotta stay ready for the biggest fight of your career. How would you describe it?
Man, I describe this moment like different, like so magical. I had too much emotions around these 3 weekends, but at the same time I feel amazing. It's the opportunity of my life. Is that this moment is why I'm working so hard every day to get this kind of opportunities. I can change too much stuff if I take the title this weekend.
At the last time when we spoke to you, you said you were ready to eat hamburguesas, pizzas, y no me invitaste, amigo, me lastimaste. My question, when you want to celebrate a big fight like that, and then you got to prepare again, how do you balance it? Because I'm assuming you don't just stay low the whole time.
Man, to be honest, I had a few good meals, before to start with my diet again. So I had those meals on Sunday, but immediately next Monday I'm start with my diet again. Obviously, for example, this last Monday was my birthday. You always want to celebrate your birthday with some good cake, with some good meal. I can, but I don't care. It's part of this game. It's about sacrifice. This moment, this opportunity is more important than everything right now.
I saw your interview with Ariel, and you talked about your family has a company that makes piñatas. So when you fight, do they have a party with a piñata that looks like your opponent or something?
No, man, I'm old right now. Now I'm old. I don't have more piñatas in my birthdays. But yeah, when I was a kid, I had a few of them, and I was a really nice and happy kid.
A very obvious question, Brandon. If you win, you would be the first fighter from Mexico to win a UFC title. I know it's a big question, but what would it mean to you to make history with that?
Everything, brother. I mean, I said before, but this moment and this opportunity is bigger than me. It's not just me. It's my family. It's my 3 daughters, my wife. My parents, all he sacrificed to get me the best opportunities to stay in this place right now with talking with you. It's important for my country. I can't change the game. I can change the sport if they have something important guy winning a title. In the most important company in the mixed martial arts in this moment. So man, I can change too much stuff if I get the title.
Hey, thank you, Brandon. Good luck.
Thank you, bro.
We will take the next set of questions from Danny Segura with MMA Junkie.
I know that guy.
¿Qué tal, Brandon? ¿Cómo te va?
¿Qué tranza, Dani? ¿Cómo estás, hermano?
Bien, bien. Te voy a hacer preguntas en inglés para ponerte a practicar el inglés. ¿Vale?
Está bien, ya que.
Vale. So, Brandon, your birthday was on Monday, right? If I'm not mistaken. What'd you get for your birthday, man?
Some vegetables, some good vegetables. Chicken breast, and that's it. Obviously, I prefer a huge cake and a really nice meal, but I can and I don't care. It's about this opportunity now, and then after the fight, I can go and celebrate with my family and my training partners and with my team.
I saw you get an old school Nintendo too and some Legos. Is that correct?
Actually, yes, brother. My manager give me the Lego set. It's huge. It's really huge. So
Yeah.
I have homework for Tijuana.
Yeah, for sure. And you're already making history as the first Mexican-born fighter to challenge for a UFC title. If you win the belt, obviously there will be more history for your country, for Mexico. Can you talk about the importance of this moment, not only for yourself, but for your entire country?
Man, when UFC gave me this opportunity, I can't believe it in that moment. Everything was so fast. right now I feel so happy and so proud about what I'm doing in this sport for I'm not just for me, this country, my parents, my family. I know I can be an example for all these young kids who try to start in this sport. I can show to the world, not just Mexico, the world, Latin America in general. We can do it. We can do it. It's a normal, our normal word, no, but it's real. You can do it. A lot of sacrifice, a lot of fails in my life, but I don't care. After that, I can be an example. Right now, I like you say, I'm making history, but it's not complete. It's not everything. I need to get that title.
For sure. And Deiveson is a great champion, a great fighter. And, we've seen a lot of Brazilian champions in the past. Do you feel like you have a different drive and a different feel knowing that you can make history on Saturday night for Mexico?
Definitely. First of all, I can be the first 100% Mexican, born and raised in Mexico, to be the flyweight champion. The opportunities in this specifically in this sport for me or for us in general, you know, Brazil is a tier world country too, but the mixed martial arts born there, so you can go to any small academy and find two or three good guys who can help you to be better in this sport. But in Mexico, we are really good in the combat sports, but just boxing, just taekwondo, these kind of disciplines. We don't have wrestling, we don't have Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Right now, our evolution in this sport, in my country, is better and better every day. But we need more work. That's why I think it's different for me.
Yeah. And lastly, I've talked to you many times, especially about this fight. I know how bad you've wanted this moment. Can you tell people what is Deiveson Figueiredo in for on Saturday night at UFC 256?
Like what they can expect or something like that.
What version of Brandon is he gonna get? What's gonna go down in that cage?
Man, you can expect the best Brandon Moreno in his life. A really motivated Brandon Moreno, a hungry Brandon Moreno, literal. I'm just happy and proud to get this opportunity. Man, everybody say Figueiredo is amazing. No, I never fought a fight against some guy like Figueiredo, but Figueiredo never fight against one guy like me. So it's the same position for both guys. I know he's powerful, but man, I want this victory for me and for my family and all my people.
For sure. Muchas gracias, Brandon, y suerte el sábado.
Os hermano, un abrazo.
We will take the next set of questions from Rodrigo Del Campo with Indiscutito.
Yo conozco a ese muchacho.
Brandon, ¿cómo estás? Buenas tardes.
Rodrigo, un abrazo, hermano. Gusto hablarte, canijo.
Primera pregunta, Brandon, ¿de quién es la bocina?
Güey, no hay duda de que es mía esa pinche bocina.
Oye, hablamos mucho, ¿no?, de lo que has hecho tú, de lo que has logrado y eso, pero también hablar un poquito del equipo, ¿no? Tú has sido como un experimento que no se ve mucho en el MMA, ¿no? Tienes 15 años entrenando base MMA, llegaste sin bases en el mismo gimnasio, con el mismo entrenador, en México, en Tijuana, como trabajo de equipo de Raúl Arbizu, tuyo. ¿Cómo se siente la oportunidad de este fin de semana?
Excelente, hermano. Y la verdad es que sí, o sea, tú lo mencionas. Yo sé que ahorita la gente, o sea, obviamente me entrevista a mí y todo, pero no significa también lo especial que es para personas alrededor mío. O sea, imagínate para Raúl, o sea, él también es una persona de metas y yo lo he dicho antes, él me ha implantado muchísima de su filosofía. Es un hombre de metas y él, yo cuando estaba chico me decía, ojalá y yo pronto voy a tener un peleador peleando en las grandes ligas, así dejémoslo, ¿no? Hablemos de otras. Después, o sea, voy a tener un peleador peleando en la UFC. Los tuvo. Ahora esta es su meta final, hasta este momento, así lo he visto yo, o sea, como una meta final, ya después vamos a ver lo que sigue, pero ahorita es la conclusión de un camino. Entonces también para Raúl, para el equipo es impresionante, o sea, mi camino ha sido un camino bien largo, ¿ok? Veo muchos peleadores también que inician muy rápido en esto, yo empecé entrenando desde muy chico, aprendiendo todo de cada disciplina, de cada arte, hasta llegar hasta donde estoy, entonces es cierto, ha sido un camino largo, pero que por fin está dando frutos y eso se siente increíble.
Deiveson es una persona, Brandon, que habla mucho. No sé si lo hace para motivarse, si es una manera de empujarse. Y todo al contrario, ¿no? Siempre ha sido una persona muy calmada, una persona que no subestima al oponente, etcétera. ¿Cómo evitar que se te meta en la cabeza Deiveson? Porque parece que se le ha metido en la cabeza a los demás oponentes, ¿no?
Es que quiere estar de moda, Rodrigo, quiere estar de moda. Hermano, no sé, mira, no sé cómo se le hayan pasado a sus anteriores rivales. En lo personal, ni siquiera me ha entrado en la cabeza lo que es Figueiredo, ¿no? O sea, estoy bien consciente del peligro que representa, que es la pelea más importante, más peligrosa de toda mi vida. Pero fuera de ahí, yo veo sus palabras y yo siento que no las siente naturalmente. O sea, yo veo sus acciones comparado con sus palabras y no concuerdan. Es por eso que yo, mínimo mentalmente, en ese aspecto no me siento afectado en lo más mínimo.
Una última pregunta, Brandon. El campamento pasado para Brandon Rueva, las últimas 2 semanas que hiciste en Las Vegas, las hiciste separado de tu familia. En esta ocasión, las 3 niñas, Shirley, tu esposa, están contigo allá. Tú siempre lo dices, ¿no? Lo haces por ti, obviamente, porque eres atleta, porque eres deportista, pero todo lo que quieres, todo lo que te quieres ganar, lo haces por ella, lo haces por tu familia. ¿Cómo se ha sentido tenerlas acompañándote estas semanas?
Increíble, hermano. Y es que al final del día, quién sabe qué hubiera pasado conmigo si hubiera tomado otro camino, ¿no? O sea, a lo mejor no tener la responsabilidad. O sea, ahorita lo veo como me gusta el deporte, amo esto y amo pelear, pero si lo incluyo junto con la responsabilidad de tener una familia, de gente que depende de ti, o sea, lo tomé como algo exageradamente serio y como algo que tenía que implantarme día con día para ser mejor y sacar adelante a mi familia. Estos días, esta semana que estuve con mi familia conviviendo, o sea, es raro, últimamente ya no lo hacíamos realmente, ¿no? Que yo estuviera con ellas tan cercano a la pelea, siempre estaba lejos de ellas. Esta vez, o sea, mi esposa, imagínate, Rodrigo, o sea, acaba de nacer mi niña el pasado septiembre. Son 3 niñas que tiene que cuidar mi esposa. Se iba a volver loca, ya no podía dejarla sola. Decidí traérmela, rentar el Airbnb aquí en Vegas y estar todos juntos, ¿no? También, pues, con mi equipo, con Marcelo, con Macio, con Raúl, que han estado aquí. Majo Favela también, que has estado unos días ahí en la casa. Entonces, me siento bien contento. Somos como una familia grande dentro de Las Vegas, la nueva Casa Malilla, acá en Las Vegas, más fancy. ¿Se fue Rodrigo?
Ahí estoy, Brandon. Muchísimas gracias.
Ahí está. Vale, Rodrigo, lo vemos, hermano.
Mucha suerte. Hasta luego.
Okay, we will take the next set of questions from Carlos Contreras with Milenio Diario.
También conozco ese vato. También lo conozco.
¿Quieres en inglés o en español?
¿Qué tranza, mi Carlos? No, hombre. Ya vamos a
Oye,
preguntas, canijo.
ya nada más te quiero hacer esto rápido porque ya te quita mucho tiempo en estos días. ¿Cómo sientes lo que está pasando en México? Porque como que todavía no les cae el 20, ¿no? En los medios no hay mucho, todavía no se habla tanto, porque el MMA no se cubre mucho en México. Pero ¿cómo imaginas el lunes en caso de que ganes o el domingo, ¿no? Porque no sé si viste, pero el domingo ganó Checo Pérez en la Fórmula 1 y todo el mundo sabía de Fórmula 1, ¿no? ¿Cómo te imaginas este fenómeno en caso de que ganes? ¿Y qué tanta, no sé, qué tanta emoción te da poder hacer eso, poder romper esa barrera que ya mencionaba, ¿no? De lo poco a lo mejor que tiene difusión hoy el MMA en México?
Yo creo que lo visualizo como algo muy parecido a lo que pasó con Checo Pérez este fin de semana, si no me equivoco. Yo igual, en lo personal, sabía quién era Checo Pérez, que era un corredor, pero no sabía si era bueno, si era malo, qué onda. Y después de un logro tan grande para él, o sea, muchos medios lo empezaron a cubrir, muchos medios empezaron a verlo. Carlos, pues, no sé, o sea, yo lo veo así, ¿no? A lo mejor ya, y esa es una de mis metas, o sea, creo que lo he estado diciendo muy claro, quiero ser un ejemplo y ganar el título va a hacer que más personas, digámoslo en general, más personas, más medios, más todo, empiecen a ver este deporte como algo importante para nosotros. O sea, es difícil porque es un deporte relativamente nuevo en el mundo en general. Ahora imagínate en México, ¿no? Poco a poco lo hemos estado haciendo bien, pero sí, creo que tener un campeón 100% mexicano que nació en los barrios de Tijuana sería un plus grandísimo para el deporte en México y en Latinoamérica.
Y nada más para cerrar, es un momento en el que hay muy pocos mexicanos ya en el roster de UFC, ¿no? Hace unos años teníamos 10, 12, se está compactando. pero están más arriba, ¿no? Los 4 o 5 que están en los mejores lugares del ranking. Vas a tener esa responsabilidad. Ganes o pierdas esta pelea, pues de ser el que está ahí, ¿no? Comandando, digamos, en este momento la avanzada de los mexicanos.
Pues sí, Carlos. O sea, trato de quitarme la responsabilidad, ¿no? Y siempre que me preguntan de los representantes mexicanos, siempre he hecho la bolita a los demás, ¿no? No, sí estoy yo, pero también está Pantera, también está Irene, también está Teco, también está Alexa. O sea, somos varios y lo hemos estado haciendo muy bien. Mowgli, que también acaba de ganar, el Turbo Pérez. Entonces, trato de echar la bolita. Claro que sí, yo soy el tipo que está peleando por el campeonato en estos momentos y tengo la responsabilidad personal de gane o pierda, seguir en los niveles más altos dentro de la compañía. Es presión, trato de no pensar tanto en eso ahorita, simplemente para seguir disfrutando todo esto y ir con toda la confianza el sábado, pero sí, sé la responsabilidad que representa, hermano.
Gracias, Brandon, y suerte el sábado.
Vale, Carlos, un abrazo, Carlos.
We will take the next set of questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Let's go.
Hey, Brandon, obviously both you and Deiveson had to make such a quick turnaround. So can I ask you, like, where is your weight at today and how are you feeling going into the weight cut for this week?
I'm 130 right now. I have just 5 pounds over. You know, after my fight against Roybal, I had like a few good meals. But after that, immediately next Monday, I'm start with my diet again. No? So I'm perfect right now with my weight.
Awesome. Was there any concern at all with that with Deiveson? I mean, he said he was, I think, 132 today, so he's right around the same thing. But was there any concern with that because he has had problems with weight in the past?
Man, to be honest, I don't care. No, I need to stay focused in my game plan and what happened in the fight. But I know if something happened with him with his weight or he has some weight problems. Good for me, okay. But I'm trying to don't stay focused on that. You know, it's something extra. But I need to stay focused in the game plan. That's important.
Sure. Brandon, can you kind of give me an idea of your journey to this moment in fighting for the title? You know, coming onto the Ultimate Fighter, you were the biggest underdog. Then you surprised a lot of people on the Ultimate Fighter. Then you had to deal with a couple of tough losses, and you actually left the UFC, and it looked like maybe the flyweight division was going to go away. Now here you are fighting for the title. Is it kind of crazy when you think about everything you've gone through to get here?
Man, this journey was amazing. Was so hard, but so funny at the same time. I know I'm an underdog in my life, but like I always say, even losing, I'm always winning. When I lost against Sergio Perez and Alexandre Pantoja, I get so much experience in my life. My evolution in this sport was incredible, was amazing. This life for me is a kind of roller coaster. I need to write a movie of my life maybe after this weekend. But man, I'm so happy, and I'm so proud about all my hard work with all my hard work.
And last one for me, Brandon, you've been an underdog. You know what that's like. But, leading into this fight, we've seen guys like Cody Garbrandt talking and Henry Cejudo talking, and they're talking about Deiveson. Does that bother you that it seems like people are somehow looking past you, or do you use that as motivation that, these guys are talking about Deiveson when, you got to fight with him 3 days away?
Yeah, man. They want to be fashion, and that's it. I don't care, to be honest. They try to sell pay-per-views. They try to sell himself, but I don't care, bro. I mean, my mind is clear. I'm so happy. I'm enjoying right now talking with you, watching the cameras, enjoying all my starving moment. I'm so starving right now. But at the same time, again, I'm so happy and I'm so proud of what I'm doing right now.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brandon. That is all the time we had for you, sir.
Let's go.
Chance de entrevistar a nadie.
Next up, we will be joined by the number 7 ranked UFC heavyweight contender, Junior Dos Santos. We now welcome the number 7 ranked UFC heavyweight contender in the world, Junior Dos Santos. Junior, thank you for the time today, sir.
Thank you, guys.
We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Hello, Junior. How are you?
Hi, Gabriel. I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you. I want to start. After your last fight, you did an interview and you said it was a weird moment in your career. A couple months later, just where are you at? How are you feeling after everything?
I'm feeling good. You know, I'm trying to push things forward. You know, to keep moving forward, and I cannot do anything to change the things in the past. You know, but I can do a lot to change the things for my future. So yeah, it wasn't the last results of my fights weren't very good. You know, for me, actually weren't bad, very bad actually. You know, so now I'm trying to make a difference. You know, to get a W on Saturday and move forward on my career.
Your last few fights, let's be honest, you fought tough guys that a lot of people, don't get many victories over as it is. So I think a lot of people see that. But when you're in there, you go back to training. Do you feel like there's a lot of things you need to change? Do you feel like it's more mental? What do you go back to work on when you've already had such a great and long career already to learn?
It's hard to say, man. We try to understand the things sometimes, guessing that there is something wrong over there because the result wasn't the expected. But man, I feel great. I was great on my last fight. I was feeling great on my last fights, And if you watch the fights, I was kind of winning. I was winning the fights, So at some point, then I got cut, and my opponents won, got the victory. So yeah, I keep working very hard on everything I do, even on my my psychologic thing, so it's a hard sport, It's hard to understand things, and the best thing that I can do is keep working hard, keep believing myself, because man, for me, I can see everything is right there. It may be maybe even better than it was in the past. The performance is there, the power is there, the stamina is there. My will to become champion again is there. So I feel everything is right there, but the results are not coming. Of course, I'll keep trying my best, to turn things around and go back to my winning streak.
They have you as the underdog, even though you have all of the experience. I know that must not feel good, but you're known for being one of the most positive guys in all of mixed martial arts. So for you, how do you take it when they say that? How do you turn it into motivation in camp?
Yeah, my motivation doesn't come from the other opinions. Everybody has an opinion about something, in life. And these days, people for somehow, because it's easier to express your opinion, everybody wants to people to know what they think about you. But yeah, it's not something that I really that really bothers me, because I don't put a lot of attention on this. I put a lot of attention on myself, on the work what I do, and the things that will bring me something good. If you're criticizing me, and I believe that's something good, that you're right. I'll maybe work on that, and try to absorb that. But most part of the things I just don't care, I don't listen to the people out there, because man, they never. There's many other guys, even people that works in MMA, that works as journalists or whatever, whatever you do over there. You never get slapped in the face, man. What do you know about fighting? About by just watching. Why you believe that your opinion should be something that I have to absorb, I have to bring to my reality? It's not true, unfortunately, it's not like that. And I have this thing very well understand it in my life. So like I said, I believe in myself, and I'll keep moving forward.
You are very right. Not many journalists are getting slapped in the face. So yes, you're correct.
Not just journalists, even the guys that are giving opinions and commentating fights or whatever. This guy, some of them, because you go to the gym and you do one or two classes that you think you understand about that much about fighting. It's not like that. It's not like that. And also each case, each situation is different than the other one. So you cannot generalize everything. You have to understand there is individuality in each case. So for me, like I said, I feel good with myself. I just have to, of course, to put things in the right place and get the victory. The victory is the most important thing. Always, I've been doing this since my beginning in the UFC. Your next fight is always the most important. So that's in my case right now, this one is very, very important for me, and I'm going there to win.
Okay, thank you, Junior. Always appreciate the time.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Rodrigo Del Campo with Indiscutito. Oh, excuse me. We will take the next set of questions from Jim Barcelone with the Miami Herald.
Thank you. Listening to your commentary there, it's interesting because this fight is very important, obviously, for you, and you know about the fights and fighting. But win, lose, or draw, is it more important for you how you feel and how you fought going into this fight and looking into the future?
I didn't really understand very, very well that question. Can you repeat that?
Junior. Yes, Junior, sure. This fight coming up, it's very important to you. The next fight is always very important. Whether you win, whether you lose, whether you draw, is it more important for you how you fight and how you show, how you do, how you feel going in, moving forward to having another fight after that?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's we have to focus on putting 100% of us in the fight, and giving 100% of us to win the fight. Whatever happens then will be a result of that, So that's what I'm coming for. I'm coming to leave 100% of me in the fight, and of course expecting to get a great win, on Saturday night.
And then no matter what happens in this fight, you feel ready that you're going to continue. You look very confident that you will continue fighting no matter what happens this Saturday. Is that how you feel?
Oh, of course, yeah. I'm 36 years old, man. Like I said, everything's right there. The power, the will, the stamina. everything, it's right there, it's right here on me with me, and I feel I can still give a lot for this division, and I can still beat many of these guys. Of course, I'm coming from a negative moment, a hard moment in my career, but like I said, I was winning all the fights before I got cut. I'm leaving that thing everybody say about the heavyweight division. Once you get punched in the face, the fight's over.
And your team, who did you bring with you for this fight? Who is going to be in your corner for this one?
It's gonna be Luis Doria, my coach, my boxing coach, Luciano Macarrão, the Muay Thai coach, and Marcelo Gome, who helps me with the sparring sessions and everything around all the training. There's many other guys, at the gym that they should be here, but it's not like that, we cannot bring everybody.
Well, Junior, all the best and thank you.
Thank you very much.
We will take the next set of questions from Scott Shapiro with the South Florida Insider.
Hey, Junior, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, Scott, how are you, man?
So tell me, man, coming into this fight, there's so much shuffling going on in the division. Where do you see yourself kind of with what's going on in the division? If you get a win right here, moving on.
Well, yeah. I've been, fighting for a very, very long time. So whatever happens, this with the division, this next days or next months, it doesn't really matter to me. What really matters to me is the way I'm going to do in my fight, especially on this next fight. My focus is on this one. Whatever comes next, it's good. Whatever comes next, I'll take it and I'll do my best to keep going. And like I said, I really believe I can do many amazing things in this division still, and become the champion again. So yeah, let's keep working. Once I stop believing that, I'll stop fighting. I'll dedicate myself for something else. Right now I'm here. I'm spending my time, my money, everything on my career because I really believe in who I am and whatever I'm capable to do inside the octagon. That's why I'm here.
Isn't it dangerous to have a fighter try and build a name off of somebody? I mean, especially somebody of your credentials, or is it kind of more dangerous the other way for you to take on that hungry fighter trying to build his name?
Well, I don't really know. I just think that it's another fight that you have to do. I never picked any opponent in the UFC, and I'm not willing to do that. So whatever the UFC put in front of me, I'll fight it. And I'm not just saying this. I know that a lot of people come here and they say this, but it's not like that. I do that for real. So yeah, I'm ready to give my best, to have the result that I want, and then move forward in my career and see whatever is going to happen.
So that same excitement we should expect from you regardless coming into this fight.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll be there. Like the main goal is to, like I said, is to give 100% of me and to show everybody, what kind of fighter I am, because sometimes people, they start to underestimate you because you're living some negative moment. The negative moment sometimes doesn't mean that you're become weaker or whatever. It's a result, an unexpected result that happens. Sometimes negative things happen.
Is there any way that we could ever take you out of the cage? It just seems you have so much fun inside of it. You're always smiling. Everybody seems to enjoy your company. What's it going to take? Do we have to pull you out on a stretcher 30 years later? You're still fighting?
Well, yeah, no. Like I said, you know, man, I really love what I do. I really love who I am, you know, as a fighter. You know, I live. I'm a blessed guy. You know, everything what happens in my life. I have a beautiful family, so I'm a happy guy. You know, I'm living a negative moment. So, but I'm doing my best to leave this in the past. But as soon as I start to think that you know, the performance is not there anymore, I don't feel as comfortable as I should feel, or my goals are not to. If I believe that I cannot be the champion anymore, I'll stop fighting, or I'll try to do something else. I'll dedicate my time and my efforts, you know, for something else. I'll try to build something, or to do another thing in the MMA world. So, but it's not the time right now. I'm here to fight. You know, I love to fight, and I'll be always be there to win.
Awesome. Well, hey, I really appreciate your time. Looking forward to seeing your fight again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Junior. That is all the time we had for you, sir.
Great. Thank you.
Next up, we will be joined by the last athlete for the day, number 7 ranked UFC lightweight Charles Oliveira. We now welcome the number 7 ranked UFC lightweight contender in the world, Charles Oliveira. And we will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Hello, Charles. How are you?
Perfectly fine.
Charles, we heard about this fight just 3 weeks ago, but when did they first reach out to you about fighting Tony this Saturday?
Ficou sabendo há 3 semanas dessa luta, mas quando é que você ficou dessa luta?
Há 3 semanas, há 20 dias.
3 weeks ago, 20 days ago.
So you found out the same day that we all did?
Ao mesmo tempo.
É que eles chamaram, nós aceitamos. Acho que todo mundo contente, feliz com essa luta.
Yeah, as soon as they called us, we accepted it now.
Talking about this fight, a lot of people are talking about, does this get a title shot for the winner of U2? We know there's a lot going on. Conor fighting Poirier. Michael Chandler is expected to fight soon. If you win, what do you expect to happen with the belt?
A gente falando que essa luta vai ser o desafiante. Muita coisa rolando na aí você acha que deve.
Eu não acho nada. Tenho a maior certeza. Tá tudo certo. O campeão realmente se aposentou, ele jurou no túmulo do pai dele que ele não voltaria mais, então não tenho o que falar, não tenho o que fazer. O cara jurou no túmulo do pai dele e não tá brincando. Mas Oliveira versus Tony Ferguson, com certeza vencendo essa luta, eu sou o próximo desafiante, só fico esperando quem vai vir entre Conor McGregor e Dustin Poirier.
And I have no doubts in my mind, you know, the champ in the division, or on his father's grave that he's not going to fight again. So, you know, why would he fight again? And, you know, the only thing I can be sure of is that I'm going to Tony Ferguson this weekend, and then I'm going to for Conor and Poirier.
Tony Ferguson said on Instagram, he has said that if Charles comes in overweight, he's not going to take the fight. I don't believe you've even missed weight ever for 155 pounds, so how did you feel about him coming out and saying this?
Tony falou que se você não bater o peso, que ele não vai lutar. Mas lembra de você não bater o peso.
Cara, o Tony tem que se preocupar com o peso dele, deixar aqui a minha equipe, juntamente comigo, se preocupa com o meu. Tá falando isso aí, alguma coisa tá incomodando ele. Fica em choque, a gente tá chegando.
Tony needs to worry about his own weight. And it's up to me what I do with my team, and if he's bringing that up and he's saying that he must.
When you first got to the UFC 10 years ago, very young, a lot of people were very excited by your career. You've had so many fights now. Does getting this big fight mean more to you at this point in your career than if it had happened sooner?
Como é que é você ter uma luta grande nesse momento?
Cara, são 10 anos de história, eu aprendi demais com tudo que eu vim vivendo no UFC. Errei, e agora eu tô no melhor momento da minha vida, na melhor fase. Não tô preocupado em nada. Não é esse bicho-papão todo que todo mundo tá falando. Tô focado, coração no lugar, cabeça no lugar. A gente sabe que é uma grande oportunidade, mas a gente vai fazer acontecer.
I have a 10-year history in the UFC. Learned a lot of mistakes and of decisions, but I'm here, and he's not the boogeyman like everyone.
Hey, thank you, Charles, and best of luck.
We will take the next set of questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Charles, first question. Obviously, you've been waiting for a ranked opponent for quite a while now. Kind of a two-part question. Were you getting frustrated that it seemed like a lot of the top guys weren't mentioning you by name? And what was your reaction when you got the call about Tony Ferguson as an opponent?
Esperando cara de. O que você acha dos caras assim falam no seu nome? Donam vocês de que foi?
Cara, na realidade eu venho falando isso há um bom tempo. Top 5 ficando na panelinha deles, entre eles lutando eles ali, pra eles não sair do ranking. E eu sabia que uma hora ou outra ia aparecer oportunidade, ou quando o Mando caísse, ou quando algum deles quisesse lutar e não tivesse oportunidade, não tivesse ninguém entre eles ali. Foi o que aconteceu, apareceu a oportunidade, eu peguei.
Yeah, I've been saying that for some time. The top 5 guys have been just their little groups fighting each other, and I knew the opportunity was going to come. At some point those guys weren't going to have an opportunity, but thankfully I'm in.
You coming off the win streak you've been on, obviously, it's been an incredible run. What do you feel like has been the biggest difference for you on this win streak? Obviously, fighting at lightweight, has been a big deal, but I mean, what do you feel like has been the biggest difference to put you on the win streak you're on right now?
A sua sequência de vitória que você está agora, o que você acha que fez a diferença? Realmente fez a diferença para você?
Minha filha ter nascido, mudou minha cabeça, mudou meu estilo de vida, mudou tudo. A equipe que a gente fechou, juntamente com o Macagu de Tinch, de Boxe Diego Lima, foi evolução.
It was my daughter being born. My mind and my having together Macaco's team, Diego Lima's shoot box, and everything.
With that being said, Charles, obviously you and Justin Gaethje are much different fighters, but what did you think of Tony's fight with Justin Gaethje?
Na realidade, o Tony errou justamente com a equipe dele. Era durante um bom tempo, né, pra lutar contra o Khabib, que era um cara que ia botar ele pra baixo, e quando ele aceitou uma luta com um cara que ia trocar sua porrada com ele acabou errando no jogo. Acabou errando. O Gates é um grande lutador, tem uma grande história, mas eu acho que o Tony errou.
Honestly, him and his Tony and his team, they were a long time to face. Grappler's going to take him down and take him apart.
Last one for me, Charles. You mentioned, and I apologize, the audio kind of cut out. I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. You believe a win, obviously, will get you a title shot. Did you say you believe it would come against the winner of Connor and Dustin, like you against the winner of that would crown a new champion? Is that kind of what you're thinking?
I hate that on the follow você.
Com certeza, acho que é isso. Acho que tá tudo bem desenhado. Quem ganhar dessa luta agora vai sentar de camarote só esperar a luta, né? De Conor McGregor e Poirier.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think everything is set. This fight this weekend is just going to sit and wait to see who.
Thank you, Charles.
We will take the next set of questions from Diego Ribas with AG Fight.
Alô, Charles?
Fala, Mexão, tranquilo?
Beleza, tá me ouvindo bem?
Tô ouvindo sim.
Maravilha. Charles, seguinte, você acertou sua luta com 2 semanas de antecedência, 3 semanas de antecedência, não é o ideal, mas imagino que a oportunidade faz valer a pena, né? Em algum momento, na conversa com seu camp, seu time, vocês pensaram em talvez não aceitar essa luta e fazer valer a sua boa fase, tentar fazer uma luta com o camp completo?
Cara, essa é uma luta que a gente não tinha nem como falar de não aceitar. A gente tá pedindo durante um tanto tempo um cara que esteja na minha frente, um cara bem ranqueado. A gente não aceita uma luta dessa, a gente vai lutar quando? Eu lutei no começo do ano e, pô, já estamos no final do ano já. Então nem pensamos nisso, né? Pensamos primeiramente em aceitar a luta e correr atrás do prejuízo, 20 dias para poder se dedicar e fazer acontecer.
Certo. Já mencionaram aqui, né, a declaração do Ferguson sobre se você não bater o peso, a luta não vai acontecer. Quando você ouve uma declaração dessa do seu oponente, como você entende essa postura dele? Como você decifra isso? O que quer dizer isso para você?
Cara, na realidade a gente tem que se preocupar com a gente mesmo. Se ele tá se preocupando comigo, eu primeiramente fico feliz, né? Da maneira ele se preocupar primeiramente em bater o peso dele, que tudo aquilo que ele tá pedindo para mim, pode ser que seja o inverso ao contrário, né? A gente aceitou essa luta tem 20 dias. Esses 20 dias a gente sentou junto com a equipe, o meu nutricionista, e a gente sabe né, da responsabilidade que a gente tinha. A gente sabia disso aí, que a gente tinha que bater o peso. Todo mundo sabe da minha cabeça que eu preciso bater esse peso. A gente está fazendo um trabalho maravilhoso. Lógico, existe a preocupação de não chegar e não bater o peso, com certeza isso existia, mas o time está sempre voltado a mim, né, para poder fazer um grande trabalho para que a gente consiga bater o peso, para que na sexta-feira a gente consiga vencer a primeira etapa, que é isso. Acho que antes de qualquer coisa, antes de qualquer luta, a gente tem que bater peso. Só que o Tony, para estar falando isso aí, ele está preocupado, né? Eu não estou nem um pouco preocupado com o que ele vem trazer para mim, com o que ele vai fazer, deixar de acontecer.
Maravilha. A luta vai ser realizada no UFC Apex, que é um cage menor. Tanto você quanto o Ferguson são caras que andam muito para frente, né? Então é impossível imaginar uma luta monótona. Nessa mistura toda, você acha que o cage pequeno te favorece? É melhor para você, já que
Cara,
os dois vão acabar se encontrando?
São dois caras que andam para frente. Podia ser no campo de futebol, podia ser na onde fosse. Nós vamos se colidir, vai bater de frente uma hora ou outra. São duas carretas andando para frente. Então, para mim não faz diferença se vai ser no grande, vai ser no pequeno. Vai ser um grande show, vou andar para frente o tempo inteiro. Não tô nem ligando se ele vai andar para frente também ou não. É um grande trabalho. Mais importante de tudo é que o braço levantado no final, a estratégia está montada, minha cabeça está montada. Eu tô bem, eu tô feliz, ousadia e alegria, isso é o mais importante.
Show de bola. Você mencionou a sua certeza de que vencendo essa luta, o vencedor dessa luta vai disputar o cinturão. Algo foi conversado com você? Já foi oficializado isso para você? Vencendo, você vai disputar o cinturão?
Cara, não foi falado nada, mas eu só peguei uma luta com um cara duríssimo, faltando 20 dias, a categoria tá toda bagunçada, tá tudo na maior loucura, tá tudo bem desenhado, né? Quem vai lutar? Quem é outro cara que vai lutar pelo cinturão? Fala pra mim. Não tem o que falar. Vocês são repórter aí há 1000 anos, vocês sabem muito bem, melhor do que eu, quem vai lutar. Se você colocar o cara que veio o Michael Chandler veio do Bellator, era para lutar pelo cinturão, não lutou. Depois com o Rafael, não aceitou. Com o Tony Ferguson, não aceitou. Ele quer lutar com quem? Entendeu? Rafael dos Anjos chegou agora na categoria, é um cara duríssimo, já foi o campeão da categoria, mas venceu um cara agora, então estava aposentado. Porra, não tem o que fazer. Quem vai lutar? Dusty Gates, acabou de perder pelo campeão. Não tem o que falar. Dan Hooker. Estamos falando dos caras certos que estão na categoria. O Dusty Poirier é o cara que está vindo de vitória, o Conor McGregor está vindo de vitória, então os dois vão se enfrentar. Charles Oliveira vindo de 7 vitórias seguidas. Né? A gente está indo para o oitavo em nome de Jesus. Quem que vai colocar? Tem o que fazer. Se eles colocarem outros caras, acho que é uma má escolha. Estamos falando da escolha certa. Essa é a escolha certa.
Perfeito. Então, minha última pergunta, Charles. Você mencionou que o Ferguson não é esse bicho-papão. Até você falou isso numa outra entrevista também. Você pode adiantar para mim, por favor, algum detalhe? Por que você tem certeza que ele não é esse bicho-papão? Talvez algum detalhe no jogo que case bem para você? Por que você tem essa confiança em afirmar que ele não é esse bicho-papão que todo mundo pinta?
Cara, há alguns meses atrás, eu sentei bastante, né, com a minha família, com a equipe, com alguns amigos meus, e eu coloquei lá, né, pô, esses grandes nomes aí, né, Khabib, eu olhei lá, tinha 29 derrotas, eu procurei meu nome lá, não achei. Tony Ferguson, tinha não sei quantas vitórias vindo, de 12 vitórias seguidas, eu procurei lá meu nome também não achei, né? Então a gente olha aí, meu nome não tá lá. Só vai saber na hora que a gente se trombar. E aconteceu de trombar. Algum tempo atrás eu dei uma entrevista, perguntaram quem vai ser o campeão 2021. Eu falei, Charles Oliveira. Ele falou, não pode você. Eu falei, Tony Ferguson. E olha só o que aconteceu. Caiu Charles Oliveira e Tony Ferguson. Eu tenho que mostrar que eu posso ser que eu sou o melhor. Cara, tem tanta gente mandando mensagem no meu Instagram, falando que eu vou morrer, falando que eu vou perder, falando que eu sou louco. Cara, pode continuar mandando mensagem, isso me motiva cada vez mais, isso me deixa mais feliz, mostra que eu estou incomodando. Tony Ferguson é monstro? É monstro? É sim, com certeza é. Nunca lutou comigo, ele não sabe o que é um monstro. Tô pronto, irmão. Falei pra todo mundo, tô falando de novo. Dia 12 agora de dezembro eu vou chocar o mundo. Vou ser o campeão em 2021.
Maravilha. Obrigadão, Charles. Obrigadão. Derek, só um negócio. Quando você traduz, o seu microfone tá falhando, cara. Se tiver algum outro aí. That's it, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will take our last set of questions from Danny Segura with MMA Junkie.
Hey, Charles, from what I understood there briefly, that's your plan that you were saying in Portuguese, that you feel like if you get a victory here, things will line up and you will be champion in 2021?
Com certeza. Já tá planejado, já tá certo, tá escrito. A gente só tá indo buscar aquilo que é nosso.
For sure. That's all planned out. It's written, you know.
And what do you think, Tony Ferguson didn't want to fight Michael Chandler. He wanted to fight you, basically citing that Michael Chandler saw him as a few levels below. What do you think it says about you, about Tony Ferguson, someone that's been around the promotion for a long time, interim champion, wanting to fight you above anybody else?
O Tony Ferguson não queria lutar com o Michael. Especificamente queria lutar com você. Como queria ter um cara aqui?
Na realidade, ele queria lutar com o Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler correu dele e aí caiu de paraquedas eu. Tem o que fazer.
Actually, I think he wanted to fight Michael Chandler, and Michael Chandler away from himself. All in there.
Yeah. And Ferguson has kind of a similar style as yours, very dangerous on the feet, very long and lanky, and very good jiu-jitsu as well. Obviously, you've been around the promotion for a long time, since you were very young. Is this someone you've been looking at sort of maybe as someone that you appreciated as far as their style is concerned, since you guys are very similar?
Tem estilo parecido com ele. Ele é chão muito bom, comprido e tal. Ele é cara que você já olhava e...
Cara, na realidade, né, esses 5 caras que estavam na minha frente, esses 10 caras que estavam na minha frente, né, há pouco tempo atrás, eu sempre vim assistindo, eu sempre vim olhando, né, e o Ferguson a gente tem que estar olhando, né, um cara que é um fenômeno, um cara duríssimo, a gente vem acompanhando, né, um cara que tem um chão legal, tem uma trocação boa, é um cara que tem um estilo próprio dele de lutar, então a gente sempre vem acompanhando, sempre vem olhando.
Yeah, I'm actually always watching, the 5 or 10 guys ahead of me, and how can you not pay attention to Tony Ferguson, Good on his feet, he's good on the ground, and he's got his own unique style, so obviously I was always looking at him.
Do you think this fight will determine who's the most dangerous jiu-jitsu practitioner at 155 pounds?
Acho que essa luta vai determinar quem é o mais...
Cara, acho que não. O maior finalizador da história já tem nome, Charles Oliveira.
I don't think so. I think the biggest submission artist in history, we already have a name for him.
And lastly, I'll try this in Portuguese. Você que acha do cabelo do Deiveson Figueiredo? What do you think about Deiveson's hairstyle?
Cara, Deiveson tem um cabelo irado, né? O deus da guerra, um cara que merece todo o respeito do mundo. Tá vindo fazendo grande história. Acho que, porra, tem um cabelo irado, é um cara que é gente boa demais.
Deiveson's hair is awesome, He's a lot of war, a lot of great things.
Looking forward to the fight. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Charles. That is all the time we had for you, sir.
Thank you, man.
That concludes today's Virtual Media Day. We would like to thank everyone for joining today's event and your supporting coverage. If you have not yet registered for the UFC 256 Prelim Virtual Media Day taking place tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and you wish to do so, please register today. We will distribute video and audio downloads from today's events to your emails as soon as they are available. Have a great day, everyone.